What up, what up? This is Dave from the 5-6 Kings. And guys, as I'm sure you're aware, we're at war. We are at fucking war with Domino's. All right, Domino's thinks they can compete with Subway. They're like, oh, we're the number one like fast food style pizza place in the world. Well, Subway's the number one fucking restaurant in the world. All right, do you guys know what Domino's is doing right now? Do you know how fucking desperate Domino's Pizza is? They're doing commercials. These are real commercials where they're like these these delivery services. They don't say them by name, but they're talking about like DoorDash and Uber Eats. They're ruining the small businesses. DoorDash and Uber Eats are ruining the small businesses. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go buy up a bunch of gift cards to local restaurants. And if you order delivery from us, we're going to give you a gift card to a local restaurant. Do you guys realize how fucking crazy that is? Like, think of it, they're like, please come eat our pizza. But like, we already fixed the potholes in your neighborhood. That didn't work. We already had our Chef Daniel, go on TV and humiliate himself, being like, I don't know. They told me that my pizza wasn't good and that I needed to do better, so I promise I'm going to step it up, guys. They already brought the Noid back. They already have driverless cars. They're already giving away 5 million free items or whatever the hell it was that they were doing. They're still doing that, by the way. Now they're like, just eat with us once and then you can eat wherever you want after that. Just please, just one more pizza. That should be their new slogan. That should be their new commercials. Their new slogan should be Domino's. Just one more pizza. Just one more pizza, guys, please. It's the holidays. Please, one more pizza. They can't fuck with Subway. Subway's got that Tom Brady money. Subway's got that Tony Hawk money. Subway is the official community center for communities everywhere. And they're good enough for Tony Hawk. And they're good enough for all you people listening. Subway, please, for Christmas, please, give us money. Enjoy this week's episode.
This the Palm Beach County anthem. All my Palm Beach County niggas, y'all put them fucking guns in there and bust them shit. Bitch, I'm from Palm Beach County, this where I'm from. Where niggas get gunned down and left like rolling thumbs just for fucking round. This ain't the county for you bitches to come around.
What up, and welcome to the unofficial podcast of the National Football League, the world-famous and critically acclaimed 5-6 Kings podcast. I'm David Breen. With me, as always, my dear friend and co-host, Braden Bullard. Braden, how are you, man?
I'm great, David. And what a treat to be back.
It is.
Right?
We're doing this later in the week because we wanted you guys, it's the holidays.
Exactly.
We want to do this day before Christmas Eve because we want you guys to listen to this with your family.
Yeah.
Get the whole family together. Gather everyone around.
Some would say
Dial
that
up the radio and put on the 5-6 Kings.
Exactly. Some would say that this is not a family movie, but the 5-6 Kings thinks it is. It's going to bring the family together some way, somehow.
Well, it's definitely a family podcast.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
When we started this, we said we got one goal.
One goal.
2 goals.
Couple.
Get that sweet, sweet Subway money.
For sure.
And bring families together, guys.
Bring the families together and spread that holiday cheer.
God. It's a beautiful thing. Braden, how was your week, man?
It was good. It was good. Didn't do that much.
That's good.
Yeah. Just, got to be a little bit more creative and got to, celebrate life and do a couple fun things. How about you, David?
No.
No?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
You got to be a little more creative and celebrate life and do
Yeah,
some
so
fun
I had
things.
more free time.
Were you like finger painting? You're like, check it out.
Yeah, so definitely stuff like finger painting. No, I definitely got to do more editing. I had more free time to do more auditions and do more editing and stuff like that. So create more in my spare time. But then I got to celebrate life. So I had my grandpa's funeral. It was good. We got to all bring a bunch of family together that we haven't seen in a long time. So that was good. It was actually a good way to celebrate life and everything because I haven't got to see like a lot of my family in a long time. or other parts of my family I haven't seen in a long time. So it was like kind of like a family reunion at the same time. So yeah, it was good.
Nice.
Good time. Yeah, man.
Nice.
Thanks, bro.
See, cleared that up. I didn't know any of that stuff.
Sometimes I just like to summer it up too fucking quick, and I realize I left out too many details.
There we go.
But yeah, how about you, David?
Good, man. Good.
Yeah.
Got to be creative and celebrate life. And
So
just,
like,
you know,
does that mean like finger painting and
yes.
stuff?
It does.
Because I know finger painting is a big passion of yours.
Absolutely. I finger paint every single day.
And I still have yet gotten a finger painting.
Oh, you won't get one? It's for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just thought like...
It's selfish of you to think that I would finger paint for you.
Yeah, after all these years, I just thought maybe...
Well, you thought wrong.
All right.
All right.
Touche.
All right, Braden.
My bad.
Yeah. No, it was a good week work. I went to the Mounts Botanical Gardens in West Palm with...
How was that? I've never been. I've heard of them.
So they did like... the gardens are beautiful.
So is it because it's like Christmassy and they have like a bunch of lights too?
Yeah, and that...
Okay.
Be honest, was a little underwhelming. I
Yeah?
was expecting it to be a little cooler.
Like more
But-
lights?
Yeah, more lights, just like, I don't know, cooler.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't like, oh, this is fucking awesome.
I'm going to come back here.
Niece and nephews loved it, though.
All
They were running around having a great time.
So if I'm thinking about being
whatever.
fancy and I bring a date there, I probably shouldn't. It's too weak.
So, like, the garden itself, if you were to go just, like, during the day,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Okay.
it's a solid spot. Yeah, Shannon got married there.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, there's a pavilion thing where she got married at, and, like, we put little sign. They fucking hate
glad
it.
you didn't shit on it.
They hate no. So, like, the garden, it's a beautiful place over
Nice.
there.
Okay. Cool.
In general, the lights were underwhelming, though.
Okay.
I was expecting it to be cooler,
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, well, you heard it first. Step up your shit.
There you go, Mounts Botanical Gardens.
Yeah.
They when Shannon got married, they fucking hate. Like Shannon had like this thing where people came in an entrance and walked through the garden to get where her wedding was,
Uh-huh.
and like we'd put like little signs that shows like family pictures, her and Ryan, like little like
And
like,
people would just
like,
walk right through?
little beautiful things that people would like see and like know that they were going the right way.
Uh-huh.
The people who ran the garden didn't know we were going to be doing any of that, and they were like, "Oh, you can't be doing this." But like, it's my sister's wedding. This is what she wants. I wasn't going to be like, "Oh, okay," and just go put everything back. I was like, "Yeah, that's fine, that's fine." And I'd fake, and then like I'd go move it to the other side and do shit, and like people were just chasing me around all day, being like, "Sir, you can't put this fucking
No way.
this fucking ladder shelf with pictures of your family up in front of this plant." And I'm like, "Oh no, you're right. That makes sense. And, yeah, I'll move it right now. I'm so sorry." And then I'd leave it there. I'd be like, "Fuck this lady. Like I don't care about any of these people."
Did you try to make it more important to them to do the whole South Park thing where you just say that it's like a very important wedding? It's Tom Hanks and Beyonce.
Tom Hanks, Beyonce. Everyone really likes them.
Yeah. So like now it's okay, right?
Yeah, everyone really likes Tom Hanks and Beyonce.
Oh, really? Oh, all right. Well, you could put that there then.
I'm glad we moved it back this week. Other than just getting to bring the whole families together.
Yeah.
Around the 5-6 Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got to listen to another podcast that I listen to weekly. It comes out on Wednesdays.
Oh, really?
So normally I don't listen to it before we record.
Uh-huh.
The Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project with comedian Anthony Jeselnik and his friend Greg Rosenthal. He works at the NFL Network. He went to college with Anthony.
Nice.
And they do their show. They go over like just weird news stories from the week and stuff. And one they went over was a show on TLC where, and Brayden, I have like a specific question that I want you to answer.
Okay.
I want you to answer honestly.
Honestly.
So, would you have sex with a girl who is 22 years old? Like she's been alive 100%. She's been alive for 22 years.
Okay.
It's not disputable that she was born 22 years ago. But she is in the body of an 8-year-old.
Oh, God, David. No. What the fuck?
What?
Oh, I get what you're saying. I know what you're referring to. You're talking about. I think I've seen this. I think I've seen the video.
It's a show on TLC that's coming out.
I think
It's gonna be about this woman.
I think I saw like a quick commercial about it or something.
Why no?
She's
She's an adult woman.
Okay. So listen. The way you first, I didn't realize this is like a girl who has some type of
She had like
dysfunction.
She had cancer when she was a child. It was a sad video. I watched the video. It was
I thought
sad.
you were speaking of some crazy hypothetical.
No, so she had cancer when she was a child, and like the chemo and radiation. Like, she stopped growing.
All right, so that's like a little different. I don't know, man. David, I love it. Hard questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, all right, let's say I did fall in love with this girl. It would take me some time. Man, I don't know.
No, finish. Come on.
I mean, bro, you're looking.
Don't let my smile turn you
you're
away.
Looking for like a definite answer. I don't know if I have one. I think I would have to like warm up to it over time. That's such a weird way to put it. But it would definitely take like some time. Like I wouldn't be able to be like, oh, let's just fucking fuck one night stand. Let's just go right into it. Just over dinner, I find you so attractive.
If you went on a blind date with her and she shows up, how do you react?
If she's like, listen, she's got papers. She's like, I could prove it.
She brings a birth certificate.
Yeah. I'd be like, well, listen, we could. Yeah, like we could. I'm a very polite, kind person, David. I'm gonna finish the date with some dignity and some decency, and like, and I'm gonna make her feel beautiful. But at the end of the day, I'm probably not gonna have sex with her.
So you're just gonna lead her on, give her false hope, and then
then make her believe,
and then at the end of the day, be like, but this is too weird.
But like I'm gonna say it's me. It's not her. It's not you. It's me.
She's not gonna buy that shit.
Man, there's gonna be so many fucking lies I'm gonna hit this woman just to try and like ease her off. Just to try and let her down the easiest way. Just like, my whole family just died. I gotta go to Australia. I won't be back ever.
She's like, oh, let me come with you. We really have a connection.
Or she's like, I'm from Australia. My family's...
I'm trapped in an 8-year-old's body. It's really hard for me to meet people who genuinely have feelings for me, so let me come with you. Then what? Then what, Braden?
I got AIDS. I don't think...
Oh, me too. Me too. I have a heroin addiction. I was sharing needles. I contracted AIDS.
I'm going to just keep diving.
Yeah.
Diving.
She's on board. I don't think I would. I could be like having sex with an 8-year-old. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
But you left some room. You were. I think if I didn't smile, you would have given a different answer.
David,
you were leading yourself down a different path, and I was getting excited about it.
No, see, if Fenor was here or some other asshole that's my friend was here, they'd be like,
Fenor didn't die yet?
No.
It's a fucking shame.
Dude, like, I'm counting the days.
Who's it going to have to be?
It's like people wait for their birthdays. I just wait for Fenor's death. But no, that fucking asshole would have been like, what are you talking about? Half your exes look like they're 8. And I would have been like, bro, fuck you. My girls are fucking hot.
Yeah, some 8-year-olds are hot, I guess.
None of my exes look like they're 8. All right, Fenor, fuck you, bro. But that's what he would have said. I know it for a fact. He's still saying it right now, but yeah, fuck them. That's a hard question, David. I probably would not have unless I just somehow genuinely fell in love. Like, hard.
I need you to meet her now. I want you to fall in love.
Maybe you're just like Cupid or something, and you bring us together.
I saw that, and I was like,
I got you guys tickets to the baseball game.
All right. Let's jump into Die Hard.
Yeah.
How?
Because I just died hard on that fucking hill.
Yeah, we gonna talk money? This budget had to be fucking big.
Oh, the budget.
It's a fucking old movie though. What year did it come out?
1988.
88. I'm
not alive.
No, me neither. I'm gonna guess the budget was like $50 million.
Lower.
Lower? Yeah, okay. A lot lower?
I don't want to give it away, but yeah. Not like crazy lower, but yeah, lower.
Like 30 million?
A little bit lower.
25?
28.
28 million.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I didn't want to say half and
imagine,
then just give it away.
because like it was a kind of badass action movie.
Oh, dude.
It still held up.
Like, when I'm looking at the budget for 1988 and for the length of film and everything, I'm like, that's still pretty high. I mean, that's a big budget for then.
Yeah, and like, imagine today that movie.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Like, they do a Die Hard reboot. That's $100 million.
If the movie was done today, that entire... I don't want to give anything away. Never mind. But opening weekend, what do you think they did? In U.S. and Canada. I don't know why they wouldn't put it everywhere else.
Do you just have opening weekend? You don't have their total net?
No, I do. But I'm just saying, just because that seems apparent. Like, crazy.
Opening weekend, I'm I guess, like $2 million.
Nah.
A lot? Lower?
Yeah.
Yeah, 500,000.
600,000.
600,000?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's opening for, U.S. and Canada.
Yeah. What's the... I'm not even going to guess the total net.
But still, that must have hurt them. They must have been like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, this isn't going to be good.
Yeah. Gross worldwide, it actually ended up making $141 million.
There you go. They happy with that?
I think they are.
There we go.
Yeah. But that's worldwide. So gross U.S. And Canada, they made $83 million. So, shit, man. That must be that Chinese money.
There we go. It's all that Chinese money, baby.
Yeah.
NBA and
them,
Disney,
though.
they're getting it.
John Cena knows. He called Taiwan a country, and this is fucking mind-boggling. He ended up learning Chinese to give an apology. He's like, I'm sorry to Jinping. Taiwan is yours and yours alone. I wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for you, Jinping, in China. Thank you for your audience. Thank you for your money. Dude, it's insane.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Everyone just sucks the tit of that communist fuck.
I mean, you got to sometimes,
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to suck the tit.
Money talks.
That's right. Daddy's got the money. You do what Daddy wants. It's like in Summer Catch. She's going to San Francisco to work with her uncle.
Oh, my God. It's exactly like Summer Catch. So, what? All right. So, big debate, everyone, if you didn't know. The big question is this a Christmas movie? I don't know if you want to cover it now, but the reason why I bring it up is the release date. The release date
came out in July.
Yeah, July 20th, 1988.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I find that bizarre.
I'm going to, at the end, I'll give my reasons.
Okay. So you want to do that at the end?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm down for that. Yeah, so you want to,
So let's talk ratings.
Yeah, let's talk ratings. We'll get into ratings. So, I'm on Google. I got the right one this time, right? I made sure because when I first brought up Die Hard, it brought up the newest Die Hard. And I was like, I'm not falling for this again. So I made sure I got the right one. But pretty good fucking ratings. IMDb gave it an 8.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 94%. TV Guide gave it a 72%. Because, TV Guide's like, fuck this. We re-won this too many times. Google users gave it a 92%. I feel like that's like almost the average. It's like a 92.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you give it?
I give it like an 8.
Yeah.
It was a good... It was an action movie. Like don't mistake it for like a movie with like an awesome story with great dialogue, stuff like that. As far as just cool shoot 'em up action movies goes, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had no complaints really. I wasn't like, oh, this sucks. Like it was 2 hours or a little over 2 hours. Like it wasn't overly long. Didn't feel too quick. I felt like they kind of wrapped it up appropriately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. What'd you give it?
I agree with you. I gave it 7.7.
Yeah.
I was thinking 7.6. I'm like, let me boop it up. Just 1 decimal. God, where do I start? So it's funny because this movie, I felt like, started a lot of little things that a lot of other movies made fun of. Like a lot of the gimmick kind of characters, the way that they overdid some of these characters. A lot of movies and a lot of people just in general, I feel like ended up making fun of characters from this movie. I feel like the movie soaked up the characters so well that they made it like a stigma almost kind of thing.
Pickle Rick was John McClane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's so many.
I'd never seen this before. I knew it was like based off of some action movie. And then watching this, I was like, oh, this is Pickle Rick.
I mean, dude, like South Park when FBI shows up and he's like,
not anymore. You're
not anymore. You're not. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, everything's South Park related, but there's so many references on
It's Always
so
Sunny.
many movies. Yeah.
It's Always Sunny did the hands up.
Yep.
Like Frank did that. Like,
Yeah.
It's
So many things. Yeah, the movie was really good. They did a lot of good things right for like building up these characters and doing exactly what they wanted to with telling the type of story they wanted to. I felt like they could have done a little bit more Christmas shit, just a little bit more, and maybe released it closer to Christmas.
Well, they were hoping it would be like a summer blockbuster.
Yeah,
when they released it.
No, yeah,
they were like,
but you know, it was very entertaining. It was very thrilling. A lot of action, and I liked the way that it was. Well, I don't want to give anything away, so we'll get into it at the end. I'll kind of jump into this.
We got any awards?
Oh yeah, baby, we got fucking awards. You want some fucking awards? I'll give you some fucking awards.
Yeah, let's see.
So they got 8 wins, 6 nominations. So they were nominated for the Academy Awards for Best Sound, Best Film Editing, Best Effects, Sound Effects Editing, and then Best Effects, Visual Effects. Bunch of people that, no offense, we would not know. They did win the awards of the Japanese Academy for Best Foreign Language Film.
You said no offense as if it was like towards those people. It's more on us for not being knowledgeable about sound editors on movies.
For sure. But
like those people could be fucking rock stars in their profession.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
They for sure are.
Yeah.
They for sure are. I'm not trying to take anything away.
It's more
of like
you and I don't know enough about people who work behind the scenes on films.
You're right.
Yeah.
But also, I just felt like the audience wouldn't either. I'm sure there's probably someone listening like, you fucking piece of shit. Why don't you talk about Richard Edlund or Al D. Sarro?
Richard Edlund did this?
Yeah, and Brent Boats. I'm sorry, bro. I should have went over the names. I know, I get it. So, yeah. So, they did win the Best Foreign Language Film of the awards of the Japanese Academy. Good for them. You know?
Absolutely.
Because the Japanese Academy, they know what the fuck they're talking about.
They know action.
Yeah. They won the Best Foreign Language Film from the Blue Ribbon Awards. They won the BMI Film and TV Awards.
Where's Body Mass Index?
Yep.
Where's the Blue Ribbon Awards?
Like where?
So it's the Best Foreign Language Film.
Yeah, it doesn't say. Where's the Blue Ribbon Awards, like country-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Sorry.
Happens. Happens.
They did win that Body Mass Index, though. You know, that's a big one. Not most people win that.
I mean, but look at the body mass they had in this film.
If you think about it, everyone's fucking just jacked and fit.
Jacked to the gills, dude.
Besides that fat fucking cop. Okay, so they won, or they were nominated for the DVD Exclusive Awards. That's probably not around anymore.
Or it's thriving.
or it's thriving. I love this one. They were nominated for the Edgar Allan Poe Award, Best Motion Picture. Did not win. Edgar didn't like him enough, you know, so. The
Edgar Allan Poe Award?
Yeah.
It was nominated for Best Picture?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Edgar Allan Poe's like a poet.
No, yeah. I didn't know he had like his own.
Yeah, but I wouldn't think Die Hard would be nominated for best. Like, I would think it would be some kind of like artsy movie with a lot of dialogue. That would be
like
like it would be shit like that.
I always say
nominated.
the fucking name wrong. Les Miserables or whatever the fuck.
Les Miserables.
Thank you.
I don't even know if I got it right.
Yeah, because bro,
I just knew you were wrong.
I for sure
I could say it with enough confidence.
But no, they got Bruce Willis in there. Edgar is like, what the fuck? They won Best Foreign Language Film, the Ho Chi Film Awards. It's always foreign with these.
Ho Chi.
Yeah.
Ho Chi Man City.
I don't know what. Here's another one. Best Foreign Language Film winner, the Kinema Junpo Awards.
Kinema Junpo.
Come on. Like, who doesn't know the Kinema Junpo Award?
I don't.
You're right. Me neither. They did win Best Sound Editing, Motion Picture Sound Editors. Nice. They won the National Film Preservation Board Award at the National Film Preservation Board. Wow. Good
Like,
for them.
what year was that? I feel
Dude,
like
that was 2017.
yeah, I feel like we've had a few movies lately that have won that specific award. Home Alone won it.
There must be something that they do. It's the Preservation Award. So
Yeah,
it's like,
so it's older films.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Good.
The Fan with Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes won it as well.
Some of these films have stood the test of time, David.
Like The Fan with Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes.
And then for the last one, they won the Motion Picture Award from the Online Film and Television Association.
There we go.
That's the Hall of Fame, baby, right there.
There we go. HOF, baby.
That's 2019, too. So they're still winning awards.
Die Hard's in the Hall of Fame, but Zach Thomas isn't.
Like, what
This
the
is
fuck?
bullshit.
Yeah.
Pro Football Hall of Fame, get your shit together.
Get it together.
Zach Thomas is one of the greatest linebackers in the history of the NFL.
Of all time.
And he's just not in the Hall of Fame. You're like, no, we got to get Calvin Johnson in as a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Fucking pisses me off.
Fucking Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher.
God.
You could make the argument that Zach Thomas was better than Brian Urlacher.
Mm-hmm.
And people are just throwing it first ballot, Brian Urlacher. Zach Thomas just sitting on the fucking sideline. Get it together. 54 needs to be in there.
Yeah.
All right, you want to dive into this movie or what?
I want to die hard.
There we go. So 20th Century Fox, did you notice anything?
No.
They gave us the full opener. They gave us the
Oh, yeah. Okay. I knew Nice.
So I don't know why Home Alone didn't have it.
Yeah.
Because this came out 2 years before Home Alone, and then full opener.
Yeah, whoever runs Fox is just like, fuck Home Alone.
Yeah, they're like, we got let's
Or they're like, that's a real Christmas movie. They don't get the full opening.
they're like, we want to have this be tight.
tight.
Get
Yeah,
this
tight. Yeah, get us
Tighten it
right
up.
to Macaulay Culkin. See, I got it right this week.
There, you nailed it.
Yeah, it was all last
Nailed
week.
it. So we open, there's a plane landing, and Bruce Willis is sitting in a seat. You can
This
tell
is probably the most startled we probably see him all movie.
Yeah, you can tell he's like kind of nervous. And the guy sitting next to him says, "Don't like flying, huh?" He's like, "How can you tell?" And the guy's like, "You know what I'd do? When I get home or in the hotel room, wherever you're going, you take off your shoes, walk around barefoot, and make fists with your toes on the carpet."
It's like fist with your toes, huh?
And so, like, you're led to believe with this interaction that they know each other, because people don't just talk to other people like that.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Bruce Willis then stands up to get his bag out of the overhead, and you see that he has a gun. And the guy looks nervous, and he goes, "Don't worry, I'm a cop." So they did not know each other.
But I love this. So he says, I've been doing this for... the first guy talking about the toes, he's like, I've been doing this for 9 years.
That's right.
And then he goes to him, he goes, "Don't worry, I've been a cop for 11 years." Kind of like already throwing a jab. I just like it. He's like, I've been doing shit 2 years longer than you've been doing shit. I fucking know. I'm like, all right.
He has this big bear, and he's getting off. Him and the flight attendant had some sexual tension, it seemed.
Oh, bro, yeah.
And
so one of the stewards or whatever, stewardess?
Flight attendant.
Yeah, flight attendant.
It's 2021. She may have been called a stewardess back then.
Yeah.
She's a flight attendant now. Big time sexual tension.
Oh,
we never see her again after.
Never see her again. But gave him Bruce Willis the "I want to fuck you" I look, like without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Which just sets up that Bruce Willis is just a sex star. That's
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like everyone wants to fuck Bruce.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about Bruce. He's gonna be fine.
He gets us
Everyone
everywhere he
wants a
goes.
piece of him.
Yeah.
He walks off the plane and lights a cigarette in the airport. Because you could do that back then.
Back then, man.
That's neat.
I was gonna say the same thing I almost said last week, but I'm sure you got something better.
Didn't have to go stand in some. No, I didn't plan a. Can't I don't go 9/11 jokes back to back. Gotta space them out. Gotta space them out.
Just it's pre 9/11 vibes. Sorry, I had to say it again.
There we go.
Yeah.
He didn't have to go sit in like a weird glass room with fun. You ever see those rooms at airports?
Yes, dude.
Where like big airports are like, there's a smoker room, And it's like automatic doors, and then the doors close, and then more doors open, and it's just a big glass room where people are smoking.
I'm always taken somewhere, so every time I go fly, I never go through the fucking scanner, whatever you call it, because I don't want to. So I get patted down.
Why?
And because, like, I don't know, my ex she was showing me all this shit back in, like, 5 years ago. She was like, if you're going to fly all the time, like, you know, you shouldn't do it. It's going to cause cancer one day. And she's just showing me all this shit that said that. So I'm like, you know what? I'll get my balls patted down to avoid some cancer. Fuck it. So every time I go through, I get patted down. But they always take me to, like, some side room that's, like, very similar, where it's just, like, some glass walls where I'm like, this doesn't really block me, but okay. I'm getting, like, strip search and shit.
How early do you have to get to the airport in order to accommodate this?
It's actually almost quicker because I say it right as I'm putting my bags through the thing, and then instead of waiting now through, like, if it's really busy, there's usually a line to then go through the thing. Someone will grab me usually kind of, like, right away, take me to the side. By the time my bags go through, I'm almost done. It takes, like, a second for them to pat me down.
All right.
Yeah, it's not too hard. Trust me.
Sounds like they don't do a very thorough job, and that you could sneak stuff onto the plane.
Oh, they are
Going
touching
this
my
route.
sack. Like, that's why I do it, David. I don't do it because my ex showed me some shit about cancer. I do it because some random dude's fondling me.
All right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So now we cut. We're in this beautiful office. Beautiful office, and it's a Japanese guy, and they're playing, like, violin, string quartet music.
Yeah.
And this guy makes an announcement. He's like, he's up on, I don't know how to show. There's, like, a stairway.
Kind of like an
It's
overlook.
like a second floor in that floor. I don't know, but it's over, like, a water fountain. It's beautiful where he is.
Yeah, it's like there's like almost God, no, I'm just gonna fuck it up.
It's like a 40-story building. They're on the 30th floor.
And on that 30th floor, there's like
it's like 2 floors on the 30th floor.
Yeah.
It's like it's a weird setup they got.
Yeah.
But he's standing over and he's like, I just want to thank everyone for making this one of the best years in company history. Blah, blah, blah. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Blah, blah, blah.
I think he said there's an hour before the New Year. I could be wrong about that.
No, because it wasn't Christmas yet.
Yeah, you're right. What am I
Yeah,
talking?
so-
I thought he referenced something, or like have fun for another hour or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought he said something about like an hour. I thought there was going to be some reason behind that, but maybe I just heard it wrong.
Because the party was ending in an hour?
I don't know.
Could've-
Yeah, I thought,
yeah.
and I was thinking like, oh, maybe that has some significance, but it didn't really seem like it. So, botch what I'm saying.
Yeah. We then cut. We're in this office, and or no, we're not there. They're walking towards an office, and this one dude, I don't think I have his name down. This guy, he's fucking weird. He's a salesman, and he's hitting on this chick real hard.
We got to find a name for this fucker guy.
I have it in there somewhere.
Yeah. Because this dude is just like a prick.
He's
a fucking prick is what he is.
and he's hitting real hard on this lady,
His name in this movie is Ellis.
And what's the?
The
I have her name later, but let's just
Holly?
say her name now. Holly.
Yeah.
He's hitting on Holly real hard, and Holly's just like not interested in going to the office.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Come on, we'll have some champagne, do a little dance. Come on,
I love
you
the
and your
voice.
man Ellis." Like,
Yeah, it's
like,
exactly how he
he's the
sounds.
fucking worst.
Yeah.
They then go in, and Holly there's a pregnant lady typing at a desk, or we don't know she's pregnant yet.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Hey, it's Christmas. Go have some champagne. You're gonna make me feel like Ebenezer Scrooge." And then she stands up, and she's super pregnant. And she's like, "You think a little champagne would be fine?" And she's like, yeah, you're fine. Well, probably not. I don't know. Doesn't sound worth it.
Dude, I can't remember the other Die Hards. Like, I've definitely seen them. Can you imagine, though, they had, like, a small cameo in the other Die Hard? Like, baby is just deformed.
It's just a fucked up baby. It's
They
like,
don't even bring it up. It's just...
Die Hard 2, that's who's going after them. And she's like, I didn't think I should have the champagne. It's your fault my kid's like this.
Or if the writers or producers are listening and they haven't done that yet, boom. There's a
There we
whole
go.
new plot to
Got
a whole new Die
whole new
Hard.
series of movies.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
There we go. You guys are going to be printing money
And if
because
anything-
of the 5-6 Kings.
Pay us some money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Please.
Maybe you could be the new sponsor. of the
Please.
5-6 Kings.
Die Hard producers, please give us money.
Please.
Really, just anyone listening, please give us money. We just want money. That is all we want. Holly then gets on the phone. She's talking to her kid. The kid's like, "Is Dad coming home with you?" And she's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. And then she's like, put whatever her name is on the phone. It's the Spanish housekeeper. And she's like, "Hi, Miss Holly." And she's like, "Hey, so his flight should be getting in. I'm not sure what his plan is, but will you make sure the spare bedroom is made up in case he wants to stay with us?" She's like, "It's already made up." And she's like, "You're the best."
Yep.
Her name, if you can find her name. I didn't write down names, and I'm disappointed in myself. I feel like her name was like Maricela or something. Like
Yeah.
it was a stereotypical Spanish name.
Yeah, it's not in the cast.
Fucking racist.
Yeah.
What the
fuck?
So the lady's she already has a spare bedroom made up, and then we see a picture of Bruce Willis on like her desk there, and she puts the picture face down. Fucking rough.
Yeah.
We're now back at the airport. Bruce is walking off smoking a cigarette, and he checks out this fucking hot blonde girl.
Runs.
Really hot. The girl's like going past him, and she runs up and jumps in the arms of some dude.
And like, come on, we've all been there.
We've all been there.
We've all been Bruce Willis.
All been there, but like, oh, shit.
Damn it, she was hot.
And then I say what Bruce Willis says, which is just fucking California.
California.
That's
the first thing I said when I got there.
He grabs his bag and walks up and sees this guy standing there with a sign that says John McClane.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Hey, I'm John McClane." It's super awkward, and I couldn't tell if it's because the guy was black or because Bruce Willis was like, "Why is there a limo here for me?"
Yeah.
The guy's like, "My name's Argyle. I'm your limo driver." And he's like, "All right, Argyle, let's go." Like,
yeah, and it was definitely awkward because he was like, I've never done this before, and Bruce Willis is like, "Yeah, neither have I." And then that was like what broke the ice. I felt like they were both like, "All right,
yeah,
we both feel awkward. We both I've never drove a limo, and you've never been in a limo, so
yeah." And so in the car, we found Argyle he was a taxi driver.
Yeah,
he'd never it was his first high end like limo driving. Bruce like, "I don't fucking ever get limos to come pick me up."
Yeah.
Bruce Willis sits up front with him. Sits up front with him and then complains that Argyle's talking so much.
yeah, he's just complaining that he's smoking a cigarette too with like the windows up, like just doing weird shit.
But Argyle's talking to him. He's like, "Oh, what you in town for?" He's like, my wife works here. My kids are here. I'm here for Christmas." And he's like, "Oh, you're gonna like asking a ton of questions." He's like, "Why don't you live here with them?" And he's like, "I'm a cop. I'm a cop. I'm a New York cop. Got too many bad guys I got to get after. I can't just uproot and leave." He's like, "Nah, man, you got to do that. You got to do that for the girl." You know what I'm saying? He's like, just going on and on. He's like, "I can't believe you wouldn't move with her. What's that all about?"
He's just totally calling him out.
And Bruce Willis says, "You always ask this many questions, man. Just drive the car." He's such an asshole.
Yeah.
Sit in the back, Bruce, and Argyle won't ask you shit.
Literally. He's like, "Oh, well, this is kind of like the byproduct of me being a taxi driver for so long."
Yeah. So he's like, people wanted me to chat him up. I'd get better tips in taxis. Maybe. I've never been in an Uber or a taxi. I've ridden in a taxi before. Yeah. Goddamn right I have. I had to think about that one.
It's been a while.
Where I've been like, "Oh, man, I really hope the driver's super talkative."
Oh, never.
You know? There's times where it happens, and I'll fucking talk with them.
Yeah.
Dude, when I was in L.A., when I went to see you, I had not one, but two Uber drivers, which one is a lot, but two said this exact same thing, and it's very specific.
No way.
Two Uber drivers told me that this was right when COVID started in 2020. It was a fucking bad idea to go to L.A., but I was in L.A. living it up with Braden. Two Uber drivers told me that Trump was going to win the election because he knows what God knows, and that is that life begins at conception. One person telling you that is a lot.
A lot.
I had 2 say that exact fucking thing to me.
Holy
I was like,
shit.
what the fuck is going on? Like,
bro, the last time I went to LA, or at least flown in where I had to get an Uber home, the guy was from fucking which it's not like that's a big deal.
he's like, this guy wasn't even from this country.
He was from Afghanistan, like, and was like just speaking, like learning to speak English. Very sweet guy, and literally fought with U.S. troops to fight off, like fight off Russians, like from the fucking like 80s or whatever. And the guy was like older. And
see, that's the kind of badass shit. Like
Bro.
if I'm in an Uber ride and like someone's telling me some stuff like that, awesome.
And fought against like terrorists and shit before moved here, and is an Uber driver now. And I'm like, like I was mind blown talking to this guy, and that was like the only time that I had a conversation with an Uber driver where I was like actually like the moment he started saying some of this shit. Because at first I was like a little worried. He started asking me some questions, started saying it like in his accent. I'm like, oh God. No, that's fine.
No, like that's the kind of stuff. If I'm in an Uber and like someone's got some badass stories like that, let me hear it.
Yeah, let me hear it. Then I started
all
asking him
ears.
a bunch of questions.
But if it's just small talk or you telling me weird anti-abortion stuff, that's why God's gonna make Trump win the
and
election.
it's very specific and passionate.
God is gonna make Trump win the election because he knows that life begins at conception. Like, it's a crazy thing to say to a complete stranger.
And then like
2 of them did it.
And like says it to where like he expects you just to agree with him.
I mean, I fucking did.
But like says it in a way.
I'm not debating Uber drivers.
No, yeah.
I'm like,
but
no, that. I said, yeah, no, you got a good point. That makes sense. It's exactly what I said.
Some people just don't have that awareness, that social awareness, and they just like think that you're gonna be, I don't know. It's just so weird because it's so specific, so passionate to such a random person. It's like awkward. Awkward.
You know, my there we go, another South Park reference. My favorite thing to do, I wear a mask in public. Because there's a fucking variant going on. And also if I go to a store and I know the employees are wearing masks, I'm wearing a mask. Because they're wearing it, I'm not going to fucking be like, I don't have to wear it because I don't fucking work here. I wear a mask. Multiple times people, just like other shoppers, other patrons of this shop, ask me, why are you wearing a mask?
David, if I ever see you in public wearing a mask, that's exactly what I'm going to say. But I'm going to belittle you. I'm going to get on the microphone or say...
They say, why are you wearing a mask? And I came up with the best answer.
What?
I go, oh, well, I have COVID. I don't want to spread it, but like I'm not going to let, like, it's a fucking bullshit virus. I'm not going to let it stop me from living my life. People don't know how to respond.
So I'm actually not trying to pick on you, but what's funny is that the White House just came out the other day and said that all masks are basically bullshit unless you have like an N95 mask. It's they literally called it
I wear it when
face decoration.
When I go to a store, the employees are wearing it. Like those people
do
are
whatever
working.
You feel that,
it makes them feel more comfortable with me having
100%.
it on. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, do whatever
They're working. Bunch of people aren't working during all this shit because their unemployment checks are more than they were making. But I'm going to wear it to make those people feel more comfortable with their jobs.
But you better be just aware that if you're in public, I see you. I'm grabbing the mic. I'm going to say that fucker right there.
What mic?
You know, I don't know.
Where are you when I bumping into each other where there's microphones?
Great grocery store. And I'm like, fucker wearing a mask now.
What year is this?
You're right.
There's no microphone at the cashier.
I wish there was.
It's like in like some back room. It's a manager. She's like, hey.
I'm going to bring a walkie-talkie
and you gotta dial out on a phone
microphone or something with me, and I'm going to be like, fuck this guy.
No, but guys, if you wear a mask in public and people ask you why, I highly suggest just tell them you have COVID.
Yeah.
And you want to help not spread it.
Yeah, you know.
That's the way to go.
I was thinking about saying something mean, but I'm not. It's all good.
I mean, now you got to say it.
You know, or it's just got like a little dick.
Oh, you got to own your things, dude.
I know.
You halfway say something and then laugh.
I know.
Own it.
Well, I was going to own it in the beginning. I'm like, it's just kind of mean and dickish.
Yeah, but then you said it on the microphone, so like the person listening is going to be like, well, Braden's a little pussy. Braden's got a little dick, and he won't just say what he wanted to say. He's like, no, it's me. I don't want to say it.
I guess it could go that way, too.
Yeah. So Argyle is playing LL Cool J's Christmas music.
Yeah, which is great.
It's Christmas time in Hollis, Queens. Mama is cooking up collard greens. It's a great song.
And Bruce is like, man, don't you have some Christmas music?
And Argyle goes, this is Christmas music.
Yeah. And they ride off into the sunset, which is like...
They pull up to the office, and Argyle tells Bruce, he's like, I'll tell you what. I'm going to wait for you. If you score, and she's like, yeah, come with me, and you score, give me a call, and I'll take off. If you don't, I'll get you a hotel. You'll come down, I'll find you a hotel. We'll set you up. He's like, you're a good man, Argyle.
Yeah, Bruce is like, you're a good guy.
Takes Argyle's car. They fist bump. He goes on his way. Bruce Willis is inside the office. Nice office. It's beautiful. He's at the security, and he's whistling Christmas music.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Braden looked up and touched his headphone, and I thought there was something wrong.
No, we're good. We're good.
All right. And he tells the security guard, I'm here to see Holly McClane. And he's like, there's a directory. He was like, fucking leave me alone.
We're in 1988.
So he's scrolling through, can't find Holly McClane, but then finds Holly Gennaro. So they're separated, and she changed her name back to her maiden name. And he's like, this fucking bitch.
I wish it was some other dude's last name. That's what I was hoping.
Oh, that would have been good. That would've been good. So we find out they aren't legally.
It's fucking Elvis's last name.
They have an argument, and we find out like legally they're still married.
Yeah.
So like,
But that's what I was hoping.
That'd have been something.
Yeah.
That'd have been something.
Him and Ellis are just bumping it out right in the beginning.
Yeah. We then see Argyle parks over in the parking garage. He parks like a fucking asshole. I liked Argyle up until this point.
And you know what? I thought the exact same thing, because there's no one in this part of the parking garage. So like he thought like, oh, it's whatever. I'll just park this way. But still, the way I am, the way I'm just functioned, no.
Because there's a few ways he could have done this. He could have been like, hey, I'm a limo. I have to park sideways and take up multiple spots. Sorry, but I don't want my end sticking out so much.
That wasn't the case.
Which like, that still sucks. Find somewhere else to park, but whatever. It's what he's doing. No. He parked in the spot like he was doing it normally and just took up two spots.
Yeah.
He just double parked like over the line and was like, as good as it's going to get. And then I was like, oh, fuck you, Argyle.
Yeah.
Until this point, I was like, this guy's great. He's fun.
He's all the little things.
He's waiting for Bruce. He's like, let me know if you score, man. I'm cheering for you. If you don't, I'll take you to a hotel. Don't even worry about it. I got you.
Yeah.
Take you to a hotel. Show you a nice night on the town.
Yeah.
You'll be good. Just stick with Argyle. We're going to be good. No.
But now he's cutting corners.
Yeah. Fuck Argyle. Bruce gets off the elevator on the 30th floor where the party's happening, and they're all drinking red champagne.
Yeah.
I'm not a champagne. My champagne days never existed, I guess.
I've never had red champagne.
Yeah. But that's what they're drinking. Merry Christmas. Because champagne seems like it wasn't nice enough. Because like it could be, it's Christmas. They put food coloring in the champagne. It was a nice enough office to where I don't think it was cheap champagne.
No.
Like there's no way
they're
like
talking about $1 million deals is the best year of the company.
There's no way they cut corners on the champagne.
Exactly.
So I don't like that it was red. It should have just been champagne color. You'd been like, yeah, whatever.
Unless there's like some crazy fancy red champagne.
If you're a big champagne connoisseur, let us know. 'Cause maybe
there is.
Yeah, I don't drink champagne. Never have. You know.
Yeah.
I've had a mimosa before, and there was a party when the Heat won the 2013 NBA Finals. Went to a party. It was great. They were about to lose Game 6.
Yep.
LeBron misses the shot. Chris Bosh gets the rebound, dishes out to Ray Allen. Ray Allen hits the buzzer beater 3, sends it in overtime. They win, and then they win Game 7.
Dude, it's like literally some shit out of a movie.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
But we got like some bottles of champagne, and at the end of the game, we like shook them up and we're spraying them on everybody. It was a fun time.
Nice.
You know, go Heat, baby.
Yeah, go Heat.
You know what?
Oh shit!
We are doing video for this episode. I'm wearing a Heat shirt.
Damn!
Didn't even realize. Had to take my jacket off real quick.
Nice.
Show the Heat logo. Go Heat.
Nice.
Go Heat. Back-to-back champs. But let us know if there's like a really expensive red champagne that's out there.
Please.
Some guy kisses Bruce Willis on the cheek, And Bruce Willis just goes, fucking California. It keeps walking. I think that's the last time he says fucking California. Yeah. I wish he would have just said that 40 more times throughout this movie.
Same.
Just like every 10 minutes, there's something that happens.
That was the drinking game that should have happened.
Every time he says fucking California.
Yeah.
That'd have been good.
Yeah.
The boss recognizes Bruce Willis immediately. He's oh, Detective John McClane, good to see you. And he's like, hey.
Well, I think it was because, I think it was for two reasons. One, he probably has seen him because of photos or something like that.
Yeah.
But then two, which we find out right now, he was the one that got him the limo.
Yeah.
So, like, he probably had to know what he was looking. And also the fact that Bruce Willis is looking around like he sticks out so easily probably in the party, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Because he's just, like, looking around.
For sure.
Doesn't know anyone.
Scrambled. He's like,
yeah.
what the fuck's going on here? He's like, I want to see Holly. Guys, where's Holly? I just want to see Holly. And they go into Holly's office, and Bruce Willis says that he didn't realize they celebrated Christmas in Japan. Oh, Ellis is with him.
But the moment we walk into the office, Ellis is... I'm positive this is what they were, trying to reference, is that he was just doing coke. So he was like, he fixes his nose and like tries to clean up some shit on the desk. He's like, I was just making a phone call. The boss is like, Ellis, this is Bruce Willis, and he's a detective from the NYPD.
And he's like, oh yeah, is he, huh?
Oh yeah, is he, huh? And he kept like bro, I rewatched it like a couple times. I'm like, that's actually, I like that, because for like that entire scene, he's yeah, it's some party. It's so fucking great. But yeah,
Bruce Willis tells the guy, he's like, I didn't know you celebrated Christmas in Japan. And the guy says, oh yeah, we have to. Pearl Harbor didn't work out, so now we got to get you guys with tape debts, which is great. He's like, we're making shitty products and sending them over to you because we couldn't take you all out in Pearl Harbor.
Oh my god,
it's a fun little I'm Japanese, you're American, but we rib each other. We're good. We're friends. Holly then walks in, and the boss and Ellis talk about how well Holly does at her job and how important she is, and she's like being modest.
She just walks in, she's like, John, but Bruce.
John. She said John.
No, yeah, but it's Bruce. It's Bruce Willis, But yeah, so she's taken back. She didn't know that he was going to be there. And I love this. She talks to him for like a split second. Like, I didn't know you're going to be here or something like that. And this is what I love. Ellis kind of cuts him off. And he just immediately show him your present.
Show him the watch.
Show him the watch. Immediately trying to show Bruce. I don't know. It's the way he takes care of her or some shit. I don't know.
He said, show him the watch. And she's like, I don't want to show him. He goes, it's a Rolex.
Yeah, it looks directly at yeah. Trying to impress Bruce. I don't know why, but just his ego.
Trying to out alpha him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Because, he's got a thing for Holly, and Bruce sees it.
Yeah. Bruce says it. He leaves that guy's got a thing for you, right?
But it's so funny because, the fact that he made it seem like he had to tell her that, as if those things weren't enough to show that, obviously he has a thing for her.
Yeah.
He made it seem by the way he was looking at her or something, that was the reason.
Tell by the way he's looking. She's and because he fucking hits on me.
Yeah. Or bought me a Rolex. I don't fucking know.
So they leave, and he's cleaning up at the sink, and she asks where he's staying, and he goes, Cappy Roberts retired, and he's got a place in Ramona, and she laughs.
Ramona?
Is it Pomona?
I don't know. I thought it was Ramona. I think it could be Pomona.
Pomona? Yeah, he said it wrong.
Oh, okay.
And she laughs and says it's Pomona.
Oh, okay. I thought she was laughing.
She's it's Pomona, you fucking dumbass.
I thought she was laughing because it's so far away or something.
Well, and then she did say, she's like, you'll spend all day in the car. Fuck that. Just come stay with us.
Nice.
We got another bedroom. The kids would love having you there. Come stay with us.
So would I.
Yeah. And then he's like, you changed your name. Just immediately, she offers that, and he's like, okay, I'll do that. Why'd you change your name? Just goes right into it.
Yeah.
And they argue back and forth, and he's like, legally, we're still married. Holly.
But he's in the right. Like I forget the Japanese dude's name who is the CEO or owner of this company.
I want to say Ching or Takahani.
Yeah, Tokiyoma or some shit. Yeah, but she was trying to make it seem it was because the job she had to change her last name, even though they're still married. I'm like, dude, this dude respects him. I don't think he gives two fucks if you have his last name.
But also they were separated. I think she was.
Like, did they separate or did she just move because of the job?
Sounds like, I mean, like, it's crazy that he's like, I'm a New York cop. I can't.
Whoa, and I forgot to say that.
Like an NYPD cop couldn't transfer to the LAPD. Like,
I forgot to say, what's the limo driver's name?
Argyle.
He was like, so let me guess. You thought that her job wasn't going to work out and she was going to move back to you, huh?
Yeah.
And he was like, fuck you, Argyle. That's exactly what he thought. Because, Bruce Willis got this big old ego.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm too good. I'm a cop.
Yeah, and turns out she has this badass job where she makes way more money than an NYPD police officer. And he should have moved across the country with her and the kids.
And she's living in L.A., which, especially in 1988, is probably much nicer than the city of New York. I'm not trying to shit on New York City.
I mean, it sounds like you're shitting on New York.
I wouldn't want to live in
fires and droughts.
No, for sure.
You can't use a certain amount of water. They're like, hey, knock it off with all that water.
That's now.
Stop it with the water, guys.
No, there's definitely some pros and cons for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about what you prefer. Some people prefer being in the big city. I wouldn't want to live. If you give me the choice, L.A. or New York, I'm taking L.A.
No, same.
I lived in Florida my whole life, moving to fucking.
I wouldn't want the big city. That's just
I'm wearing a jacket right now because it was 58 degrees this morning. Like, imagine I couldn't go do.
Last time I was in New York, it was 30 degrees out with 30 mile per hour gust winds.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
I was dying.
Sounds awful. Visit New York. They argue for a little bit, and then someone comes in and tells Holly. She's like, hey, Mr. Takanomi. Wow, I'm actually... Nakatomi? Is that his name? Sorry, guys. I'm looking at my notes down here. Takagi. It's Nakatomi Corporations. The guy's name is Takagi. They're like, hey, Mr. Takagi wants to come do a toast to Holly. And she's like, all right. She's like, I'll be back. And she leaves, and Bruce is like, you had to bring it up, John. Real smart.
Yeah.
Real smart, John. Like, he's mad at himself for starting an argument.
Uh-huh.
He's there for Christmas to visit the family. Like, yeah, he's like, what the fuck's wrong with me, huh? You're a fucking idiot, John. You're an idiot. We then see a big truck pull into the parking garage where Argyle is, and we see a car pull up to the front.
Yeah.
And it's a black guy and a white guy get out of the car. And the black and the white guy walk up, and they go inside, and the black guy goes, so this is what happens. Kareem gets the rebound. He hits Worthy on the break. Worthy over to AC. AC to Magic. Then back to Worthy. Shoots. And then the guy shoots the security guard in the face. And then the black guy goes, boom! 2 points. And then jumps over and grabs a walkie-talkie and goes, we're in. It's a nice little walking and talking segment.
And this black guy's got shit like that this whole movie.
I don't know if I've seen him in anything other than this.
Yeah.
I thought he was great.
Yeah, same.
Did you think that this was Argyle at any point?
No.
That would have been great.
No.
So it's not Argyle. It would have been great. I was hoping, like, driving over here, and I was like, man, I hope Brayden's like, and I thought this was Argyle.
Just to be like,
we saw him later.
Do you think they all look the same or something? No, David, I could clearly see the distinct differences in their face.
But this guy was great. Very entertaining.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's he's a treat.
Yeah.
Everything he does is fun.
And just makes it seem like this guy he's just been waiting for this moment his whole life.
He like throws like a flash disc thing.
Which at first, I haven't seen this movie in a while, and I swear to God, at first I thought that he was rolling him like a little fat treat. Because there's another security guy that's sitting right by the elevators, and he rolls this thing over that almost looks like a fucking donut or some shit. I'm thinking like, oh, he's gonna bait him with the food, and then it explodes.
He's like, I can eat the donut.
It's a fucking stun grenade.
It's like looks like a hockey puck.
Yeah,
and they just roll it in, and so real quick, they have a silencer on the gun. That they killed
Yeah,
Wants
and,
security.
and I forgot to say that kind of. There's a couple little things that kind of. So a silencer is as loud as slamming a door shut, like slamming a door shut. So like the amount of feet between the front desk and the elevators must have been like 20, 30 feet. Like
Yeah, but so like any movie, I hear what you're saying.
I think
but
the security
any
guard would
movie
hear
or
it.
TV show, silencers are very quiet.
Yeah, you
like
got to give them a break.
They play up what a silencer.
It's kind of like in John Wick where Keanu Reeves and the other dude are shooting in the airport, literally amongst 1,000 people walking around them, and no one hears it. I mean, that shit like that is just it's stupid because someone's gonna hear that silencer that close. I get it a little bit. You could play this a little bit because he's kind of behind a big wall and shit like that. Makes a little bit more sense. And there's probably maybe Christmas music going or something. But like the John Wick movie was fucking ridiculous.
So the flash thing, it looks like it just kills the guy.
No, it didn't. So he went like this. He like went up, and then the guy shot him a couple
Did
times.
he shoot him? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see him shoot him.
Yeah.
I saw the flash go off, and I thought, oh, that just
That's
killed
that
him.
ultimate extended DVD edition.
There we go. So the crew's coming out of the truck, and they're locking down the building, the elevators.
So the truck that went
like
into the
12
garage, there was a shit ton of people in that truck, and they all came out with you get right in the beginning the main who the main honcho is.
Oh,
he's
absolutely.
leading the pack. Everyone else has got guns behind him, and they walk in like what would be the bottom, and they end up going into like the elevator.
Yeah,
and then they go up the elevator. Do we cut from here, or do they go straight to that?
So we cut from here. We just see they're locking down the building.
Yeah, that's right.
And the black guy looks to be very tech savvy. He's like typing shit. He's like, I'm locking down all the elevators, and he's like closing down different floors and sections and stuff.
And then they go to the first floor first, right? Because then doesn't he like set something on the alarm and then looks out?
They all meet in the front.
Yeah.
Over where the security guards
Yeah, that's
were.
what. Yeah.
They all meet there.
Yeah.
We then cut to Bruce Willis. He's doing the toast thing.
Yeah.
On the carpet. And he's like, 9 years, huh? Ah. And like he's like feeling better.
He's got such a cool accent, the way he just, yeah.
This is good. He then calls Argyle, Argyle's living it the fuck up.
Dude,
Argyle's blasting music. He's sitting in the back of the limo with the big stuffed bear.
Yeah.
Eating food, drinking. Like
is he on the phone at this point, or is he just doing that?
So we answered for Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis called.
Okay,
Yeah, and Bruce Willis is like, hey, still up in the air. Which, if I was Argyle, I'd be like, well, come on, man.
Well, listen, dude, it's been like an hour.
Figure it out. Like, it's like,
I am on the clock.
yeah, like I don't want to sit here all night. Or maybe Argyle does. Like, because Argyle's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Chilling. Like, he's bumping
way
the
better
music.
than the cab.
Yeah. So then the phone line cuts off in the middle of it, and we see these two guys. They're speaking. Are they German? They're German.
Yeah.
They're speaking in German, and the guy cuts
German,
the phone. There's a guy like setting shit up. I didn't understand this part. He's like crimping wires, like pinching them.
I did not understand this part
And another guy just comes in with
either.
a chainsaw and just starts cutting through.
So
And
if
he,
you're
like,
a technician,
he like hurried up and got the last one before the guy cut up the chainsaw. I was like, oh, just got it in.
From what that, I feel like what they're trying to say from that is that if he didn't clip that last wire before the dude chainsawed all the other things that seem like they're all connected, then they wouldn't have been able to take out the cable line.
Well, then
Like they would have cut the power, but not the cable line. I said, is what I think is what would have happened.
Well, then what the fuck
Was that other dude doing?
is chainsaw dude's deal?
The
Guy's
guy
like, give me a second. I got 2 more wires. He's like, nope, just coming in, and he's like, what the fuck? And he's like hurrying and doing them.
And it was never brought back up. But like, if I was the other dude, I would have went to main honcho. I would have been like, bro, you're fucking idiot ass dude almost ruined the whole fucking thing right now.
Yeah,
almost the whole plan. Him and his stupid fucking chainsaw. I would have been pissed.
So the elevator on the 30th floor opens, and bunch of guys with machine guns walk in.
And it's like, you know what? Maybe too many people for that elevator?
Yeah,
maybe.
I didn't get that feeling.
No?
Elevator. There's like 10 of them.
Yeah.
10 people fit in an elevator.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
You think the Nakatomi Corporation isn't going to have good elevators?
I was just about to say, it's because of the Nakatomi.
Yeah. Everything comes back to the Nakatomi Corporation's impact on this world.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, and Japanese manufacturers are just
They're the
top
best.
notch.
They're
Yeah.
the best manufacturers, hands down, no doubt about it. I won't hear anything else.
You're right.
So they round everybody up, and Bruce Willis is in the office, and he kind of sees what's going on.
Sorry, I love the way they walked out the elevator. He like paused and just like looked at everyone and like really took a second to like soak in. Like,
You
oh,
gotta take it all in.
he's taking it.
Gotta
He's like,
take
I'm
it all
really
in.
about to fuck up everyone's evening.
So they're rounding everybody up, and they're about to go into the office where Bruce Willis is, but then one guy finds a guy fucking a girl in an office.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, hey, check this out. And the guy who's going to go into Bruce Willis's office
turns and looks at the
turns and
girl.
looks at that. So Bruce Willis escapes and gets to the stairwell.
Yeah.
They then go through, see that he isn't there. While everybody's rounded up, the guy who's the leader, we don't know his name yet. We get it in a little bit.
You want to save it for a little bit?
He just says, I mean, what's his name?
It is like in the movie or his real name? What do you want?
So he says,
Hans Gruber is his name.
Hans.
Hans.
Due to the Nakatomi Corporation's legacy of greed around the globe, they're about to be taught a lesson in the real use of power. You will all be witnesses.
And then closes a book as if he needed that written down to be able to remember to say that.
I mean, he did.
Right?
I wrote it down so I could remember to say it. It
right.
seemed important. I was like, I want to fucking get this
just
right.
saying, like, it's
I don't want to
that-
get this wrong. Let's make sure we get it right. He asks for Mr. Takagi to come forward, and Mr. Takagi goes to step forward, and Bruce Willis's wife grabs
Ollie.
him and stops him. And then this guy starts listing off. He goes, Takakagi, graduated from whatever, like, just starts listing off Takakagi's accomplishments,
Yeah.
going all over the place. And I think Takakagi was like, I don't want someone else taking, this is, like, I did a lot. I don't want someone else taking credit for it. And he just goes, I'm Takakagi.
Yeah.
Like, as if, like, he's like, I need,
And well, I guess for the listeners, he's not the only Japanese dude there. There's like 10 other Japanese dudes that are around his age, which I did not see until that point. But it made it a lot. Which, you know, if you're Hans, you think that you would have just Googled.
Is Takakagi, this is 1988.
Oh, true.
Is Takakagi a Japanese name?
I mean, I would assume if he.
Huh.
This is,
I mean, yeah, of course it is. Dude. I'm joking. How does my, like, weird sarcasm, like, catch you off guard still?
that did catch me off. I thought that was like an honest question. I'm not kidding. I thought you were like totally serious. I'm like, I don't know. It could be Chinese, David. What do you want me to say?
So Takakagi introduced himself, and the guy's like, oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Takakagi.
All the other older Japanese dudes are like, I thought he was going to make me go.
Like, I thought I was Takakagi. So they go up, and they're up. They go up a couple floors, and it's fucking beautiful. Where they're sitting.
Yeah.
It's like a conference room. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
they have like layout plans for like new buildings or something like that.
some project they're doing in Indonesia,
Yeah.
and Takakagi's like, what the fuck you go on to know about our Indonesian project? Like, doesn't concern you. Like, he thinks
And
he's
Hans
there
is
about
like,
that.
oh, this is a childhood dream. I've always loved
Indonesia.
the small details of these fucking floor plans.
And so Hans is just kind of like, yeah, I don't care about Indonesia. Not here for that.
Yeah.
I am here because in your vault you have $640 million in negotiable bearer bonds.
Hell yeah.
And I'm gonna need the code. And Takahagi's like, I don't have the code. They don't give me the code.
Yeah.
He's
Why
like,
the fuck would I have the code?
you have the code. You're gonna need to give me that code. And Takahagi's like, I don't have the code. You're gonna need to kill me. And we can see Bruce Willis is up. He's outside that room, but he's up on that floor.
So they're two glass doors that separate the room that Takakami or whatever his name is in with the rest of the people. Takagi, and then Bruce Willis on the other side of those glass doors in the other room. I did not like this part because they end up shooting Takagi, and Bruce Willis just gets up and runs away. and because of that, they somehow hear him. Which I don't think you're going to hear him. That's my whole thing. That's why I don't like. I don't think everyone's going to hear. Everyone looked immediately. Was like,
so they shot Takakagi and then said, "All right, we need to split up and spread out and all that stuff." That's when he ran. He didn't run because they shot Takagi. He ran because he's like, "Oh, they're about to leave this room. I need to get the fuck out of here."
But they all stopped for a second, like they heard him.
Yeah,
that was the thing. I was like what they should have done is,
dude, you know about the Germans. Excellent hearing.
Oh yeah,
all of them.
Yeah, I just wish like he.
That's how they. That's how Anne Frank was in a fucking attic,
right?
You got to have good hearing to find someone like that.
Yeah, that's genetic right there. But no, like what I just wish they would have had him like get startled and got up and like hit because he was under a table. Like have him hit the table or somewhere. It makes a thud and does something that because I felt like that unless I missed it, I didn't feel like he did anything that made any type of noise. Or did I miss something?
So he kind of bumps the table.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay.
You hear we could hear them hear like we could. They show them in the thing react to a noise, and we can hear the noise that they.
Okay,
react
I
to.
must have missed it.
Yeah. So Takagi's dead. Two of the bad guys had a bet. The black guy won the bet.
Yeah.
With another guy. He's like, I
hands
told
him
you
money.
Takagi wasn't going to give you thing, and Bruce Willis is hoping Argyle heard the shots. He runs like, come on, Argyle, there's a fucking gunshot. Tell me you heard it. And then they cut to Argyle, and he's like on the phone with his girl.
Yeah.
And he's like, bitch, I said I'm waiting. He's like kind of yelling at her on the phone. He's like, I'm just sitting in the limo, I'm waiting. If he needs a ride, I'm going to take him or I'm going to drop his bags off. Like, so Argyle didn't hear shit.
And then Hans goes to the other black guy, and he's like, please tell me you can crack the code. And the black guy's like, well, you didn't bring me here just because of my charming personality, did you?
I would bring this guy anywhere because of his charming personality.
Honestly, I would.
I'd have been like, I mean,
if I was Hans, I was like, that's exactly why I fucking brought you here.
You
keep doing that.
You getting into the vault's just a bonus.
Yeah.
I brought you because you're fun to have around, dude. He says he needs 3 hours to get into it. And he says...
Did he? I missed that.
Yeah, he says, I'm going to need like... So he says there's... So he doesn't say 3 hours.
Okay.
He said there's 6 different codes I got to crack, and it'll take me about 30 minutes for each code.
Oh, okay.
Here's the deal with the 7th code. I forget what... There's some reason that he's not going to be able to crack it. And he's like, you should be able... You said you were going to have a way to get into that 7th one. He's like, just get me to the 7th and I'll get in. Hans said that.
Okay.
So the black guy's like, all right, give me 30 minutes per code and I'll get in.
Oh, nice.
Missed that little part.
So now Bruce Willis is running. He's still talking to himself. He's like, what the fuck didn't... Oh, he goes, they fucking killed him, John. Why didn't you stop them, John? And then he goes... Because then you'd both be dead, asshole.
Yeah.
Like, he's having a full conversation with himself.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
Which,
He's like, why didn't I go save him? Like, he's feeling guilty. And then he's like, no, don't feel guilty. You'd be dead, too.
You know, and I could see him kind of like, not ad-libbing it, but maybe bringing it up to the director beforehand to be like, that whole scene might have just been him pacing, being like, oh, shit.
Yeah, and he's like, let me
No, I need something more. I need something more.
Yeah, and it was good.
Yeah,
It,
I liked
it
it.
added to it.
Oh,
I
for
fucking
sure.
wrote it down. I was like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
He then looks and sees a fire alarm. He's like, oh, what happens when you pull a fire alarm? He
shit.
flips it. The alarm starts going off, and they call and cancel it.
Yeah, the guy at the front desk calls in, and
So they call it and cancel it, but they're also... Hans goes back to the 30th floor and realizes nobody hit it there.
oh,
so
it says on the thing.
He radios the guy on at the front desk. He's like, hey, it wasn't on the 30th floor. What floor was it? And the guy looks, and he goes, 32 or 31, whatever. So now they know, okay, someone's on.
And I was thinking
floor.
when he did, I'm like, Bruce, you better be smart and realize they're gonna know what floor you're on right when you pull it. But you know, that Willis man, he's a smart fellow.
Absolutely. Bruce
knows what's going on because he's an NYPD officer.
That's right. It's way better than LAPD.
Way better.
They so they know what floor he's on. They send a guy up to go.
I fucking
get
hate
him.
this part.
Guy looks around for him. Bruce is like hiding, and then turns on an electrical saw. And the guy comes.
Oh, he's baiting him. This is great. I like that part.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. He turns on the saw, and the guy comes over and like pulls his gun to saw and sees that no one's there. Bruce comes behind, puts the gun. He goes, "Drop him, motherfucker!"
Yeah, puts it right on his cheek, so his barrel's right on his fucking face.
And shake, and he's like, "Drop him, motherfucker! It's the police." And then the guy goes, "You won't hurt me." There are rules for policeman. And Bruce goes, yeah, that's what my captain keeps telling me. And then they fight.
Bro, not just fight. Bruce Willis, instead of like shooting him, like that's the perfect time. That's the perfect setup line and everything for you to just cap that motherfucker.
Absolutely.
Instead, he goes with the same arm that he's pointing the gun at his face and goes to elbow him in the face. And then the guy obviously, and then they just get in a tussle, and the guy fucking knocks the gun out of his hand. Bruce jumps on his back to like choke him out. And they're just, at this point, I'm like, I don't give a fuck what happens. If Bruce dies, whatever. Your fucking fault, dude. I don't know. Like, if I was in a video game and this happened to me, I would just put the controller down. I'd probably break my console. Like, I'm done with life. Fuck it. Like, I fucked up so hard. Oh, I'm pissing me off.
Bruce doesn't die, though.
He does not.
He beats the guy to death, essentially. Like, just drags him down the stairs, and like, the guy hits his head, and then he hits him a couple times.
And I didn't like the way he died because they rolled down the stairs, and at first you're like, this dude shouldn't be dead. And then Bruce gets up, and like the guy's in like a puddle of blood. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? It made it seem as if Bruce took him like 2 floors and just jumped and fucking threw his head into the ground. No, they rolled down the stairs.
It's like when Mark Wahlberg killed Victor Sweet with an uppercut.
Yeah.
Dead.
Dead.
So
with fucking gloves on, like like weather gloves.
So
God.
he kills the guy, takes all of his shit, and then looks and sees Santa. Like a fake Santa. And
it's like a whole room with a bunch of Christmas
there's just Christmas
ornaments.
Decorations.
Yeah.
And he sent I don't have down here, did Santa come into play there? Did he put like Christmas decorations on the guy?
Yeah, so what he did was he put a couple Christmas decorations on him.
He
like
hung
even
it on
even
him when he put him in the
Santa
chair?
Claus
Put the hat on him. That's what he did. Okay.
But then he wrote on his shirt, he said, now I have a machine gun, and then wrote ho, 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 and put him in the elevator on like a chair kind of thing and sent the elevator down. But did this, and I like this. I actually like this little detail because it shows that like a cop that's like a veteran like him would probably know how to fuck with elevators. So he didn't just press the button and get out the elevator. He went in the elevator, went down like a floor, stopped the elevator through like the manual stop, opened up the doors, used like a metal pole to like hit, you don't see it, but like hits a switch or something on the next floor elevator door to be able to open up the door on the other floor, and then crawled out of it and then hit the run button and sent the elevator down. So this way, like, he was able to go on another floor and send the elevator down all at the same time.
I feel like if I did all of those things,
I would kill myself or something. Like an accident.
Probably, but let's say I accomplish it.
Yeah.
That's going to take me like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
Like, he did it so quickly.
I'd be like overly drawing out the word. Like, oh, fuck, the pen doesn't work. Yeah. Like, all this shit would just go wrong for me.
Physically, like, doing all that, and then I gotta go up another floor to get down to that floor.
Yeah.
Like, it would take so long.
Yeah,
he just did it.
Yeah, Bruce Willis was in his prime.
And he's on top of the elevator, so when they discover the dead body, those guys are talking, and he's hearing their names and writing it down, and like,
yeah, he's doing
like, go up to the 31st
so
floor
he got
to
the
talk
walkie.
to Hans, and he's like, Hans.
He got the walkie from the dead guy. I don't know if we said.
Yeah, but like he's writing all of this down, like he's learning their names, who he's dealing with.
This is detective work. He's not just an ordinary NYPD officer. He's a detective.
And
he's not, but
Hans says that we got to go tell fucking what's his name that his brother's dead. And then
so we find out those two guys are brothers.
And Hans tells the guy, and the guy freaks out. He's like, I want blood! I want blood! And Hans goes, we don't alter the plan, all right? We knew we might have some casualties. We don't alter the plan. There's $640 million. Weird amount of money, by the way. 640 makes it feel like this really happened.
Yeah.
Because $640 million, that's a weird... Say $600 million.
Yeah.
Say $650.
Yeah.
Say $500 million. It's still fuckload. Say $100 million.
Say 642. It's...
Dude, but like, if they said there's $100 million, I'm like, you do all of these things that they're doing right now for $100 million.
Yeah.
That's a fuckload of money. $640 million is what they go for. He's like, we don't alter the plan.
More specific, like down to the decimal, like the last cent. And 26 cents is how I wanted him to end it.
Bruce Willis, so like that, like don't alter the plan. We then hear them, Bruce Willis on the walkie-talkie going, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. There's a bunch of, he's like, I got
30 hostages.
Yeah, 30 hostages. I got 12 armed terrorists here holding this hostage. But and the cops aren't buying it. They're like, sir, this is a private line. You need to call 911. He's like, I can't call 911. They cut the fucking phone lines. I need you to get over here. And you're like, sir, this is a private line. We need you to call 911. He's like, man, do I sound like I'm ordering a fucking pizza? They got machine guns in this building. There's 12 of them. I need some cops over here. And then we hear machine gun fire. They know he's on the roof.
Yeah.
They're like putting it together like he's up on the roof. We hear them shoot machine guns at him, and he fucking runs and dips. And the cops are like, huh. Well, that's strange.
Yeah, it's two female cops, and they're both like Karens. Like how you would think of, in today's day, what a Karen means. They're both like Karens. And it's exactly how you would like imagine two Karens who do that job every day to react to. I just think it's hilarious too, because he's a cop, and it's like, he's literally talking about murder, and they're like, listen, sir, this is only for emergencies. And they're just like, they don't give a fuck what he's saying. They're just so used to being like, never getting an emergency call and always being like, this is only for emergencies. And obviously,
they're not even saying it's only for emergency. They're saying if this is an emergency, call 911.
Yeah.
This is a police line.
I thought they said at first,
sir.
this is an emergency line.
They said if this is an emergency, call 911.
Yeah, but I thought right before that.
This is a police line, sir. You need to get off of it. Okay, if you have an emergency, call 911.
And then she's like, if you keep going, this will be an FCC violation. And he's like, go ahead, violate me or something.
He goes, violate me. Fucking come down here and arrest me. I don't care. Just send people to this building.
Yeah.
He's like, fucking great, fucking do it. I'm violated. I need to go to jail. Come get me.
Yeah. Which I actually really like that.
Yeah.
I really liked his acting, because that's how you would freak the fuck out.
Yeah, he's like, I don't fucking care. Just come get me.
So now he's on the roof, though, and they hear it because it's all on the same line. Yeah. And Hans is like,
they're shooting at him already, and the fucking cops hear the gunfire on the radio.
But right before this, he's like, yeah, you're right. But right before this, he's like, how does he have signal? Oh, the roof. He's on the roof. So they sent them to the roof because they were like, how does he have signal to like get out
to reach them?
Yeah, to reach them.
So machine gun fire. We see Bruce Willis like dips over to the side, and then we cut away from that. And we see the dad from Family Matters.
Yeah.
Family Matters with Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
We see him. He's a police officer. He's getting donuts at the gas station. Also, this came out before Family Matters.
Oh, wow.
So I'm guessing he got the Urkel gig.
Good for him.
From Die Hard. Good on him.
Yeah.
He's buying a bunch of donuts at the gas station.
Like he's clearing the fucking shelf.
And the guy's like, that's a lot of donuts, huh? He's like, they're from my wife.
He's like, sure they are.
She's pregnant. And he gets a call, and they're like, hey, it's probably nothing, but someone was radioing some shit about like terrorists or something at the building, at the Nakatomi building.
So we're just gonna send one of you.
We go check it out, and he's like, yeah, I'll check it out, whatever.
Fuck. I guess I got enough donuts for the ride over.
We then see there's a shootout up on the roof, and Bruce Willis.
And my thing is, no one else from it. Well, I guess it's Christmas Eve, so I guess it makes sense. But you would think maybe someone in the city would see or hear the gunshots on top of the roof and maybe call the cops too.
Maybe. So we see Family Matters cop is like leaving, like when he's at the gas station. Yeah, we see the building in the background. We can see the fire. We can't hear it.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how well sound travels. I would think machine guns on the top of the building
would echo.
Yeah, but apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not.
So Bruce, he goes and escapes through this big metal fan.
Which I didn't understand the way. So the fan is spinning like fast to where they're making it seem like this would just kill you if you got hit by it.
It'll cut us to ribbons, Charlie. You got to burp. It's the only way.
Yeah.
That's
so Bruce Willis
started
burping. And
great.
It was just weird the way he was like able to turn. No. So I didn't understand the way he was making it. So he had his gun like stuck underneath it as if it's like holding a door open kind of thing. But then he was like holding onto a wrench as if he was like turning, like stopping the engine of the fan with this wrench. I didn't understand it. But then
was it a wrench or was it his?
It was like a pole or something that it made it seem like he was. I don't know. I thought it was twisting something with. I could be wrong. They showed it very quickly because the guys come through the door and they start shooting at him. And the last second, the fan starts to like push through and almost gets his legs, but his legs get out on the other side. He grabs the gun, and on the other side, there's no other way to get to where he is but through that fan or like like a ladder inside the building. So the other guys, they have to go around and they can't get through.
And also Hans calls and says he wants them back.
Yeah.
He's like, just come back. We'll regroup.
But this guy, the brother, who's the guy that's like chasing Bruce Willis, the brother of the guy that Bruce Willis already killed. Yeah, the guy that wants blood. He's just out. Oh, and I like this part. Bruce Willis is like running through like, I don't know how to call it, like the inside of the building where he's at right now. There's like an electrical part where there's like nude photos.
Yes, that was before the air vent.
No, it's before and after. But I'm saying the second time after, he runs by it again and he taps it. I remember he like almost as if like the way I pictured is like in his head, he just thinks, all right, listen, I'm probably gonna die soon. Might as well get a little luck tap,
little titty.
Yeah,
might as well see a titty womp.
Yeah, a little luck tap, titty tap. Yeah.
He then he uses like his machine like. It wasn't wedged into anything.
Oh, this
he uses just the weight of the machine gun to repel.
So it's a submachine gun. It's a small little submachine gun, and it's like somehow
it probably weighs like 10 pounds
at most, and it somehow fits perfectly within the vent that he was like crawling through or some shit. And he was trying to get to another vent that's an entire floor lower, so like 10 feet, and he's trying to repel using the body strap of the gun. And the gun's wedged in between. It makes no sense.
The gun wasn't wedged. It was just the weight of the gun.
No way. I thought it was wedged in between.
There was nothing that the gun was holding. Like it was like on the other side of the ledge, just kind of like because he loses the gun. The gun flips and goes down.
Yeah,
he like the gun flips and he falls and catches the vent at the last second.
Yeah, and if he didn't catch that vent, he would be dead.
Yeah. Now he's up in the air ducts. And he's up in the air ducts, no machine gun now.
Yeah.
Machine gun was a huge letdown to this point.
Yeah.
Now I have a machine gun, ho, ho, ho.
Now he does it.
Yeah, he did nothing with that machine gun. As he's crawling through the vents, he says, now I know what a TV dinner feels like.
I really wish he would have said, fucking California.
That would have been fantastic.
Right.
So now I know what a TV dinner feels like is kind of a famous line from this movie.
Which is a good line, too.
But this would have been a perfect spot for him to go, fucking California.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
You got that same line for so many different expressions.
Yeah. Carl's the guy's name, whose brother died.
Oh, okay.
He goes
Yeah, because he wrote that down, yeah.
And he's like, he knows Bruce Willis in the fucking air vents. And he's poking around and then just starts shooting through the air vents.
Well,
and right before he gets to where Bruce Willis is in there, like someone's like, Carl!
But he
something this way.
So Bruce Willis, that's when he gets in here and he says that line that you were just talking about, but he puts on
Now I know what a TV dinner feels like.
Yeah. But he flicks on his lighter on. So the guy was like, knew he was like around that area. So he looked down, he saw the light.
I thought Carl just fucking had it.
No, he saw
like, you know what? If I was in his shoes, I'd be in the vents.
He looked down and he saw the light coming from that specific vent. So then he was like, all right. So then he told them he's like 2 or 3 floors down. And that's why they started looking through the vents and shit, because they saw the light coming from there.
Okay, smart.
Yeah.
Smart, Carl. But he gets redirected before he can kill Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
And then just goes away.
Definitely built up the suspension.
Yeah. Family Matters cop is now at the building. And he pulls up, and the guard, who's one of the German guys, goes and lets him in. And he's talking like a Southern gentleman.
Yeah, he's like...
He's charming as fuck.
Super charming.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, I'll be out here on the holidays, huh,
Oh,
sir?
Merry Christmas, Carl.
Yeah. Oh, come on in. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I see you. Come on
Go
through.
ahead, check around.
Yeah, check around. Do your thing.
But he was actually pretty smart, too. He walked in, and they had a game on one of the TVs.
Notre Dame USC.
Nice. I love how you knew exactly what he was referring to.
Yeah.
And was just, like, this guy is a method actor. This dude was German 1 second, and the next second he knows what teams are playing, what the score is, what the difference was like a second before, to be able to like react on it in that moment. I mean, dude, like
he's like, I had $50 on this game.
Yeah, like the dude was pretty smart, and that's really good acting in that moment because the cop was completely fooled.
Yeah. Family Matters cop is like looking around. And he's like, I don't fucking see anything. Bruce Willis came out of the vents. And he's on, like, a floor where there's nothing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And he kills a couple guys here. And it's kind of a quick... That's the one thing. A lot of the shootout scenes were long.
This one was quick.
Like, long, drawn
You're
out.
talking about the two?
This one, he just kills two people.
Yeah.
like, real quickly, like, pop, pop.
Yeah.
They're dead. And you're like, oh, shit.
But there was something weird that happened, like, right before. Didn't they have, like, was it, like, a standoff or something? Yeah, they were standing off for a second. Then the second dude came in. Yeah, that's what it was.
The guy's walking around, and he's like, I promise I'm not going to hurt you. Why don't you come on out?
Yeah.
I promise I won't shoot you. And then he just opens fire on the desk that Bruce Willis was on. Bruce Willis was under the desk. And he just shoots up the desk and then looks under. Bruce Willis is gone. And he's behind him. Bruce Willis shoots him.
I may be thinking about a different part. I thought it was the part where they're both like in the doorway. Like they both came through a door. Wait, no. It is, though, because they both came through the first dude came through the door, the dude in like the black shirt, and he was like, or Bruce, they both like met each other, not at the door, but like a little bit apart, and he just came through the door, and they both drew their guns on each other, and they had like a standoff for a quick second, and then this second dude that was wearing like white comes in and just immediately starts shooting.
The guy's like, don't shoot.
Yeah.
The first guy who came in?
The first guy came in. They had a standoff for a second. Then Bruce was like,
he's
drop your gun.
Don't shoot. Okay.
He started to drop his gun, and he was like, don't shoot. And then the other guy came in and immediately just started shooting. Like, didn't give a fuck what was happening with that other dude.
Yeah. And immediately
got
Bruce
shot.
fucking gets him.
Yeah,
Bruce like, I'm not falling for this shit. Yeah.
But then Bruce, like, fucking, I don't know if he ran out of bullets or something, but then...
So just first guy, because the don't shoot guy had a machine gun on him.
And then
and he starts shooting. And
he
Bruce
shot, and then Bruce started running. Yeah. So then Bruce now is like, kind of like hiding under a table, like a really big, long, zigzaggy table on the other side of the room. And the guy with the machine gun he jumps up on this table, and he's like trying to shoot at him, and Bruce is fucking wiggling through the bottom. Yeah. And this honestly reminded me. And I think Jurassic Park stole this from this movie. I felt like the writers, the producers, like, dude, this is they really built up the suspension with this. So what we're going to do is, instead of that dude with a machine gun, we're going to make him a velociraptor. And instead of Bruce Willis, we'll have an 11-year-old blonde-haired girl who's just scared out of her fucking mind. So the scene I'm talking about is when she's in the kitchen and she's hiding from the velociraptor and that thing starts jumping up on the tables.
It's fucking just Spielberg stealing from Die Hard.
Right?
It's classic Spielberg.
5 years later. Look at that.
But then so this guy thinks he's got Bruce Willis. He's like, oh, you ran out of table. And, like, shoots the end of the table and then goes and looks. Bruce isn't there.
Yeah.
And Bruce kills him. Then
typical Bruce.
Family Matters cop is trying to leave. He's singing Christmas songs. Like, there's nothing going on here. Singing Christmas songs and getting the fuck out of there. Bruce Willis smashes the window and then throws one of the dead bodies onto the hood of Family Matters cop's car.
You don't really see Bruce.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah. Which, another fucking infamous line from this movie.
And so that happens. The Family Matters like, oh, shit, and starts peeling out. And the Germans are like, oh, shit.
He knows.
Yeah, so they just start opening fire on him, like mowing it down with bullets. And he backs up enough and falls into the parking garage with his car.
But now that I'm thinking about it, how the fuck did Bruce throw that body? Because, like, this cop car is at least 20, 30 feet from the building.
Yeah, but he got the momentum, you know? he got the momentum.
Fucking launch that dude's dead body.
So a bunch of police, so Family Matters cop calls that shit in. He's like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. People shooting at me, bodies flying.
First I was just eating donuts, and then before I know it, there's a fucking body on my hood.
So the cavalry arrives. Tons of cops. They're blocking off roads and stuff.
Yeah.
Hans isn't worried. Hans is like, the police
This is
showing
all
up.
a part of according to
He's
plan.
like, police showing up was inevitable.
It was just a matter of timing.
Eventually, we will negotiate with them. We will give them our demands, and it will distract them for long enough for us to leave. He's like, it is not.
This is all a part of the plan.
Yeah, he gives no fuck.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis then radios Family Matters cop, and he's like, here's all their names. Here's how many guys there are. I've killed fucking 3 of them. Like, he's like, it's fucking. We're just fucking. We're knocking this. And then the boss gets on, and he's like, so what are you doing, Mr. Security Guard? And he goes, security guard? Wrong guess. Want to go for double jeopardy?
Everyone's just having fun on the brink of death. Yeah. You know?
Bruce Willis then finds a bag of C4 on the, like, with the guys that he just killed.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this is fucking nuts.
What the fuck?
He's like, we're doing all this C4. And this guy's like, you think all you Americans are the same. You think you're a cowboy, Mr. John Wayne over here. And he's like, I was more of a Roy Rogers fan. And the guy, like, they go back and forth and just, like, they're shit-talking each other, kind of.
Yeah.
You can tell there's a mutual respect between the two of them immediately, though.
No, yeah.
Which I kind of like. I'm like, all right, this is a cool
It's
little
like they
dynamic
both, and
they
it's
got there.
because they both understand, like, the dynamic of their own, of each other's character, like, to the extent of what they'll go to, the type of men they just are, you know.
And then Hans says, so, Roy, do you really think you have a chance? And then Bruce Willis says the most famous line from this movie, which is, you take it?
No, you take it.
You don't have it, do you?
Not on me.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Ah, man.
Are you fucking kidding me? There is one line from this movie that I assume everybody knows.
Oh, it's, God damn it. It hurts. It's, fuck. It starts with an A. It's like, it's,
doesn't start with an A.
It's,
This has been one of your better movies as far as remembering the plot and all that stuff. We just had a scene where you were more prepared for it than I was. I don't think that's ever happened. And you don't have this line?
It's like it's like a stupid line like abracadabra bitches or some shit like
See, it's
that.
like that,
yeah, it's
but
like
it's,
that,
but it's different.
I know. It's just I'm having a brain fart, David. Okay, it happens to the best of us.
Bruce Willis says, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!"
Yeah, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, great line.
Yeah, great line. I don't know how I botched that.
Yeah,
Abracadabra, bitches. Fuck you guys.
we then cut to the cool black guy, and he's got 3 of the locks disabled. He's like, I got 3 disabled, 3 more to go. It's just a quick. They give us an update on how close they are to getting the vault open.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis and Family Matters cops, they talk, and he like fully explains the situation, and he tells Family Matters cop to call him Roy.
Yeah.
I like he just fully leads into that.
You know what's funny? Fuck Fenor, but Fenor does that everywhere he goes. Which, weird name.
Roy?
No. But, well, yeah. So he'll go by, like, Tom, Jerry, like, just really white, simple names. Because, I don't know, he doesn't want people to, like, mess up his name or something.
I mean, Fenor's a tough name. Yeah, but just call me Tom. Whatever.
Yeah. He's just
I don't give
embarrassed.
a
Everyone
fuck.
calls him Front Door.
I've never called him that.
Everyone does, David. Jump on board.
So Bruce Willis is like just giving him the lowdown, and then like at first I thought it was FBI. This is not FBI. FBI is way weirder.
It is not FBI.
Yeah, FBI is way weirder. But like higher ranking LAPD guys show up, and they're not impressed with how Family Matters cop has been handling this situation.
Yeah, I mean they just think it's the complete opposite of everything that the Family Father Matters guy says.
Yeah, they're like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. They're like, why is that guy in there killing people? Like, you tell him that we're running stuff. And Family Matters cop correctly guesses, like, I think he's a cop. And they're like, why do you think that? Did he tell you he was a cop? Like, no, just things. He knows they had fake IDs.
He's like, oh, they could be a bartender.
Bartender. He's like, he knew to get all their names and to do all this stuff. And they're like, yeah, everyone would know that. Like, Family Matter cops, like, it just feels like I'm talking to another cop.
And what would you call that dude? The fucking chief?
Yeah, the fucking detective.
Whatever the fuck his name is.
All of my notes say FBI. And then the real FBI shows up, and I'm like, oh, who the fuck are those guys?
Yeah.
I was like, shit.
But he's trying to make Family Matters guy be like, oh, I mean, that's probably just one dude in there just capping people, but you think it's an entire terrorist group.
Yeah.
He's like, dude,
It's like, yeah, it's what Bruce Willis told me. It's like, I feel like he knows what he's talking about. He's
but it's
in
just
shit.
funny. It's just funny how this guy is, like he might be a detective for all we know, but he is just saying the most opposite of what's actually going on. Yeah. And like believes it cold-heartedly.
Bruce Willis's wife then goes into the office that Hans is in, and she says, we have a pregnant lady out there. I'd like her to be able to go into a separate office with the sofa. And he said, who put you in charge? And she said, you did when you killed my boss. I'm Holly Gennaro. I'm now in charge here.
And you're in my fucking seat in my office.
Yeah. You're sitting in my office in my seat now. And he looks at her and he's like, all right, we can't put her in a separate office. We can have a sofa brought out for her. And then like, that'll work. And then she's like, also, unless you want it to start getting messy out there, I think you should start letting us use the bathroom in shifts. And he's like, we'll make it happen, Miss Gennaro.
And as this happens, she looks at him, but looks at him, then looks right past him, then looks right back at him again, and then says, like, thank you, and walks out. And then he kind of, like, gets a little suspicious of something and kind of, like, looks back at the desk, doesn't notice anything, looks back at her, kind of like, And then we go on to the next scene.
So Argyle's watching the news in the limo. And he's like, oh, shit.
He's drinking, too.
Right there. Yeah, he's drinking. He's living it up. He's like, this is crazy. What's that building? He's like, I'm right here.
Oh, fuck. That's my building.
The LAPD, like, the higher-up guys are like, all right, we're going in. We got these crews going over there. Family Matters cops like, it's a bad idea.
Are you kidding me?
What the fuck you doing? Like, we just got here. You can't, we have no idea what the situation looks like. Guys like, fuck you, Family Matters cop. Urkel didn't take any shit from you. Neither will I. We're going in.
He's like, for all we know, there's a legitimate terrorist group in there with, 30 hostages that are being, ready to be killed at any moment. And you're going to send in like 4 to 6 fucking dudes? Are you fucking kidding me?
And at one point he's like, you got no reason to think this is a terrorist situation, that like people are getting killed. And he's like, what about the body on my hood? And he said, it's probably a depressed stockbroker.
Yeah, so that pissed me off. Okay, so you think there's some dude who's gonna go on a killing
what about
rampage?
The bullets in my car.
Yeah, exactly. But amongst this dude who's just about to go on a killing rampage, there's just one random suicidal dude at a Christmas Eve party that's like, fuck it, I'm gonna end it on top of this police officer's car. It's just like wild the way this detective apparently thinks.
Bruce Willis is looking at, like, from inside the building, he looks and sees, like, they're setting up the spotlights, and he sees, like, the team's moving around, and he hops on the walkie-talkie. He's like, Family Matter talk, what the fuck's going on, man? And he's like, hey, just lay low. He's like, you fucking coming in? He's like, dude, no, they should not come in. It's a really bad idea. And he's like, it's above my pay grade. He's like, fuck. And the Germans see this, too, and they're like, all right, let's fucking get ready. Let's fucking get him.
Yeah, this is all according to plan. We're going to kill a couple of them.
Let's go set up. The black guy hops off the vault, and he's sitting there watching the cameras, and he's giving everyone, he tells them what's happening. He's like, all right, we got 4 guys coming from this side. We got another guy's coming around there. Like, he's got cameras set up, and he's just quarterbacking this thing. Yeah. They then shoot out the lights on the spotlights, and Family Matters cops, like, they're shooting out the lights. They know we're going in. Like, this is very strategic.
And then right there, you'd be like, oh, it is a terrorist group.
Yeah, let's pull back.
Let's pull back, reassess. But no, what they say is, go kick some ass. It's literally what the detective dude says. Like, and after that happens.
So they get up to the door, and they get shot.
Yeah, they get shot.
Like immediately. Like, they don't even get into the building.
They don't.
They're getting shot at the door.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, all right, send in the car.
Like, what the... and this part fucking killed me. I'm like, what are you going to do? What are you going to take that this highly armored RV car, and you're just going to drive it through every floor of the building, and you're just going to what is the plan? And I'm guessing what their plan is
fuck shit up,
kick some ass and fuck shit up, but is to probably break down the front doors because they were locked so that they can get in. But it's like, why is that your master plan? To just be able to get in the front doors? You're gonna already some people have been hurt, and you're gonna just like drive this vehicle up there, and then what? You know, I don't know. Just the whole thing didn't make any sense. And I'm like, these people are getting paid probably so well. Like, there's probably a dude that does this dude's job. First time watching this movie, I was like, that's exactly what I would do. And then
I don't know about all that. Yeah. The armored car drives up, and the Germans, they shoot it with an RPG. Twice. And then Bruce Willis like, come on, man, you already fucking got him. You don't need to keep shooting it. You stopped them. They're not going in. And then they're going for a third. And Bruce Willis wraps the C4 around a computer, which I guess this would work.
Wraps the
C4 around a computer and then drops the computer down an elevator shaft.
He like stuck something in the C4 too. I don't know what. I don't know.
I don't know enough about C4.
Neither do I.
But it made sick explosion.
Sick, bro.
Fucking sick.
The way this explosion looked, though, was like, okay. So when he dropped it, it went down like 30 floors or like 20 floors.
So it went down to whatever floor they were shooting the RPG on.
Yeah. So, but it was lower than it was like probably 20 floors below where he was, and it took out the entire floor basically. Like so this is an entire like glass building basically. It broke every window on that floor. Fire came out on every single part of that floor that it could. My point is, wouldn't that building maybe not collapse, but like, I don't know. Like, how is anyone now getting down beneath that floor?
Oh, that's structurally, it would be fucked.
And even the vent that he threw the bomb down, the fire came all the way up, all 20 floors, whatever it was, to him. And he was like, oh, shit.
An explosion that big, that building is fucking toast.
And so many more people are hurt.
He just killed everybody.
Yeah, type of thing.
But no, he blows that one floor.
Yeah.
And then, like, the cop guy gets on the radio with Bruce Willis, not Family Matters cop, the other guy, and he's like, we got glass all over the place. Everyone's covered in glass down here. And he goes, glass? Who gives a shit about glass? Who the fuck is this? He's like, put Family Matters cop back on.
Also, a little fun fact, the Nakatomi Plaza is actually the headquarters of 20th Century Fox.
Look at that.
So that's actually the 20th Century Fox building.
And the guy, the fucking head detective guy is like, you're in a lot of trouble, mister. You can't be doing this stuff. Who do you think you are? And Bruce Willis goes, news cameras are there. News cameras got this whole thing. And Bruce Willis says, I'm not the one who just got butt-fucked on national TV. Put the other guy back on. And Argyle has this radio in his thing, and he's like, yeah! Woo! You get him, John!
Oh, man. That's a great little tie that they had right there. Like, if Argyle didn't have his reaction...
Wouldn't have been as good.
Yeah, wouldn't have been as
would
good.
Would not have been as good.
Yeah.
We now see Ellis is just not having us. Ellis is like, I'm not sitting around and fucking seeing who gets us killed first.
Didn't he say to the wife
or
before?
Your husband? That's what he's saying this to her.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's why.
He's like, I'm not going to sit around and see who gets us killed first. These guys or your fucking husband. He's like, I'm going to go talk to these guys. And she's like, what are you doing? Like, stop. He goes, babe, I negotiate $1 million deals every day.
No, he says,
I can handle these. I negotiate $1 million deals for breakfast. I can handle these Euro trash.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, this guy. Oh, man. I wonder if that just happens if you get a little bit of money. I wonder if you start negotiating $1 million deals, you just turn into Ellis.
I hope so.
Right?
He then goes in and he's talking to Hans, and he's like, Hans, man, well, all this fighting, explosions, I can get you what you want. And Hans' like, what are you talking about? And he goes, Hans.
Baby.
Booby.
That's
Hans. Booby. I can give you the guy upstairs. The guy you're running around looking for. And then we hear, Hans is like, all right, let's hear him talk. And then we hear Hans, and he goes, Mr. Officer John McClane of the NYPD. And he's like, how do you know this? And he's like, who lives and like says a bunch of facts about him. And he goes, how do you know about this? And he goes, we have one of your friends here. And Ellis gets on. And he's like, John, come on, man. Let's knock it off. Just talks to him like he's a bitch, but says, like, I told him we're old friends. Like, enough of this stuff, man. We all want to get out of here in one piece.
And Bruce is like, Ellis, what did you tell him?
He's like, Ellis, what the fuck did you tell him? You don't understand who you're dealing with these guys. He goes, babe, I got this, all right?
Yeah.
And they're, like, giving Ellis a Coke and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
they're pouring him a Coke. He's looking back at him. He's like, first off, I love the way he's holding the walkie. He's holding the walkie exactly the way he should be. Like, and you would think, Brayden, holding the walkie? What the fuck are you talking about? Dude, the mannerism, the way he's holding the walkie is like, the walkie is nothing.
It's nonchalant.
It's so nothing to him. It just feeds his character so well. Hey, booby, come on. Do us both a favor and just come out, all right?
Yeah, do yourself a favor and just come on down.
Yeah.
All right, we don't want to do this.
Let's just make it easy for everyone, all right? Yeah. I win, you win, he wins, we all win.
And so Johnny's like, Bruce Willis is like, I don't know this guy. I just fucking met him. Blah, blah. And he's like, John, we've known each other for years. What are you doing?
John,
he's like, Ellis, shut the fuck up. Like, you don't get these guys. He's like, Hans, he doesn't understand. Like, he's like, I know how serious you are. This guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He does not know me. Like,
and then Ellis goes, man, they're gonna kill me, John, if you don't come out here. And then like looks back at Ellis or at Hans, I mean, and like smiles, winks, like as if he thinks he's not gonna kill him.
He's like, play along, Hans, play along. Like, we'll get him. We'll get him. And then Bruce Willis won't tell them where he's gonna go. And Hans pulls out the gun, puts it in Ellis's head. He's like, yo, Hans, I can method act all day, but this is getting a little too serious. And he shoots him.
Yeah,
fucking kills Ellis.
Right before he shoots him, Ellis thinks he's still all good. He goes and takes a sip of the Coca-Cola. That's the last thing you see. It's like him taking a cocky sip of the Coca-Cola. And then you just hear a bang, and everyone in the lobby of the 30th floor is just freaking out, screaming because they heard it.
And then Hans gets back on the thing. He's like, all right, John, I'm just going to keep killing people until eventually I get to someone that you care about. And
yeah.
You're going to give me what I want.
Which is exactly what someone in Hans' position would do. If there's one person fucking up your plan,
for sure, he's there for somebody. He's not just there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the big like LAPD detective guy is pissed that Bruce Willis let Ellis die. He's over there. He's like, I can't believe you let him die. And then Hans gets on the radio and goes, okay.
No, you're good.
You sat up and Brayden keeps sitting up and touching his headphones, and every time he does it,
it's the old headphones
I stop
that
and
are
look.
like,
I'm like, you good?
They're really round and they just hurt my ears.
Hans is like, he gives the FBI, it's to get him working. It's like a bullshit thing. He's like, I want all of my comrades released from prison around the world. You have 2 hours to do it, and just starts saying names of prisoners who are in different prisons around the world. Basically saying, like, you need to release these guys. We're doing a prisoner exchange right now.
But right before this, like you were saying, the detective is somehow still, like, blaming this on Bruce Willis instead of being like, there's a terrorist. It's fucking insane. Yeah. And then the Family Matters cop is like, dude, read between the fucking lines, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
Like, what you want him to do?
It's just wild.
Cool black guy has one lock left. We do a quick check-in on him. He's got one lock left.
He's cool.
Then we see a newsroom, and there's some dumb anchor, and I forget the fucking...
Yeah, dude, this is...
Whatever, he says a country, and he's just wrong with where the city is.
Oh, okay.
What country it's in. It was like, he says it's in Denmark, and then someone goes, it's Austria, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's something like that.
It, like, pisses him off.
Yeah. But the news anchor, or the Nightcrawler guy. He's like, this is my story. I want to get out there and get it. Let me get the story. And then the news anchor, like, fucks up the country thing. And, like, the director looks at him like, all right, go.
Yeah. And now the news anchor's pissed.
Quick little thing.
Or, like, embarrassed, I guess.
Bruce Willis gets on with Family Matters cop, and he's like, you knew that the fucking weird prisoner thing, like, you know that's just to get them working on something else, right? And Family Matters cop like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, Family Matters cop and Bruce Willis get it.
Yeah. That detective dude's just a fucking...
Someone comes and tells the detective dude, they go, hey, the FBI just got here. Family Matters cop goes, want a breath mint?
He starts freaking out, yeah. So Family Matters is fucking, like, picking on him.
The FBI, it's two FBI agents named Agent Johnson. It's a black guy and a white guy, and they go, no relation.
Well, the black dude is Agent Johnson. The white dude is Special Agent Johnson.
There we go. And they go, no relation.
But the black dude shakes his hand. The white dude just walks right by him, lights a cigarette, and says, not anymore. Because,
come on. You can't give away the line that he says after more dialogue. They said, who's in charge here? And he goes, I am. Detective whatever with the LAPD. And then the white guy says...
lights up a cigarette. Not anymore. You're not.
Say it all together.
Well, there was a slight pause.
Say it all together. No, there's not a pause after not anymore.
Not anymore. You're not.
No, he said, not anymore, you're not. He said it exactly like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he took a drag, said, not anymore.
No.
You're not.
He said, not anymore, you're not.
They're
all
both
in
cool.
One thing. No, the other one was fucking weird and tone deaf, and if he said it like that, and I'm the LAPD detective, I'm like, well, I don't respect this guy at all. This guy doesn't even know how to talk.
Fuck you.
I'll take over. Bruce Willis. Oh, he finds Hans sneaking around right now. Hans is up on the roof doing some shit, and Bruce Willis comes up behind him.
Unless I missed something, I don't understand why Hans was up there.
Hans is just there. There was no scene that showed us how he got up there.
I replayed that a couple times. I'm like, did he say he was going to go up there? Like, I'm confused as to why he's there.
Hans just up there and hits him with a fake accent. He's like, oh, don't shoot me, Bran. Don't shoot me. This is fucking crazy what's going on up here. I was on the 30th floor, and then I just got out of there, and I was trying to get help. And he's like, all right, well, stick with me, man. You're going to be fine. He buys it, because why wouldn't he?
Well, in the beginning, it sounded better, but the moment that, like, Bruce started trusting him, I felt like his accent started to come back to the point to where, like, I felt like you would notice that it's him. Right. It wasn't like it was super significant, but just like little things, like the way is, like the little of that draws on when he says things was still coming into play when he was saying some things. It wasn't as strong, obviously, but I just felt like you would notice. I don't know.
All right.
If I'm Bruce Willis and my life is on the line, I talk to this dude like 5 times.
That's because you got trust issues, man.
Maybe.
Yeah. I would have trusted him. Bruce Willis and Hans then smoke a cigarette together, and Bruce Willis is kind of, they're shooting the shit. They're talking to each other. He's like, I'm a New York cop, blah, 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 all this stuff. I'm here. And he asks Hans what his name is, as Hans looks at, like, the board. They're in, like, a little lobby. He's like, the Mitch Johnson. Like, gets it off the board. Gets different names off the board. And he's like, all right, Mitch Johnson. He's like, you know how to use a handgun? And he's like, I haven't used one in years. He's like, well, you're going to need to know how to use one. And hands it to him, and then starts to walk, and Hans pulls out his walkie, says some shit in German, and then points the gun at Bruce Willis. And Bruce Willis turns around, and he's like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? You fucking Hans? And he's like, you're an idiot, Bruce Willis, blah, blah, like they talk. And then he goes to pull the trigger, and he goes, ha! No bullets! How dumb are you? Like,
and what's funny is Bruce knew all along.
Yeah, he was fucking ready for it.
Yeah.
Before Bruce can do anything, elevator door opens, and there's fucking guys with machine guns, and they're opening fire, so he's got to tuck and run.
Yeah, you'd think you would just kill Hans right there.
He played it up for, he's playing up the theatrics.
I feel you.
And so he should have just killed Hans.
Just killed him.
But he played up the theatrics. He's like, oh, you thought you were going to kill me? Well, you have no more fucking bullets.
Oh.
They start shooting at him. Gunfight ensues.
And he runs faster than bullets in this scene.
Absolutely.
Because he's Bruce Willis.
Yeah. And he ends up killing 2 more people, not Hans or Carl in this scene. Because 2 more people brings his body total in this movie at this point to 7. Bruce Willis has killed 7 people.
As he should.
That is so crazy. There's that's out of the realm of possibilities of how he thought this day was going to go. Oh, he's barefoot, by the way.
Yeah.
We have not brought this up. He never, because he was doing the toe,
in the very beginning,
the toe fist thing in the office and never got to put shoes on.
Yeah.
So he's barefoot doing all this shit.
Yeah, good for him, because that's what's keeping him, one, more silent when he walks and runs, and just more agile in general. If anything, it helped him.
You left out the fucking detonators, too. Hans wanted his detonators.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce Willis has his detonators. And Bruce Willis escaped, but fucking didn't bring the detonators with him here because he had to leave so quickly. So now Hans has his detonators back, and the black guy broke the 6th lock. So now it's
shit's going Hans' way.
Just need that guy to do number 7. In the gunfight, so significant. So because I forgot the detonators, I felt the need to bring it up.
100%.
In the gunfight here, Hans realized that Bruce Willis was barefoot. So he was like, shoot the windows. Like it's all glass offices, so him and Carl, they shoot out the windows.
I thought he said that because for them to be able to like see him better or some shit.
They could see through it. He'd noticed because they made a point of showing Hans looked and saw that he wasn't wearing shoes.
Okay, nice.
And then so Bruce Willis escapes, but his feet are fucked
up.
Like he's bleeding all over the place.
Yeah.
And the next scene, he's in the bathroom pulling glass out of his feet.
Yeah.
And he walkies Family Matters cop. And he's just asking him about his job. And he said, you mentioned earlier that you're a desk cop now. Or I pegged you for a street cop. What happened? And Family Matters cop said, I shot a kid who was holding a toy ray gun. Like, no part of me thought that's how this was going to go. He said, I fucking killed a kid who was holding a toy ray gun. Ray guns don't look like guns.
At all.
A ray gun makes me think of like an alien gun.
Yeah.
Like, pew, pew.
It's got circles around it and shit. And I think he said that it was dark out or some shit, and he was like he was coming to like a call of like a robbery or something, like to where maybe a reason as to why he would think more suspiciously about this kid. But dude, 13, you're like 5'4".
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
5'5".
And why is that part of this movie? That doesn't need to be a part of this fucking movie.
I think they were trying, which they didn't really need to because they have already bonded, but maybe they were trying to find a reason for them to bond a little bit more. But it also made like a little bit part of the ending a little bit more meaningful in a weird way. I don't know how to really say it like that. I don't want to give anything away, but yeah, you're right. Like it didn't have to be in the movie.
Yeah, but
I just think they were trying. I think they tried to give more weight to some of these other characters because like this cop doesn't have anything as much that tells more about the reasons that he thinks or does certain way. They probably just thought it adds and gives him his character more weight and allows them to like.
It made me not like this cop that I liked prior to this. I'm
Bro,
like, well,
I think
I'm
they
like, well,
could've-
now I think he's fucking incompetent.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I
think
feel
he's
like
incompetent, and I think the fucking detective who was giving him shit earlier is right to not think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, which is funny. It's a good point. I think they were right for trying to give the character more, backstory and something to relate him to Bruce Willis a little bit more. But that was not it. That was not it. Him shooting a 13-year-old with a ray gun. I mean, dude, they could have came up with something better.
So now, regular as clockwork, Hans is looking on the cameras and he sees that the FBI is going to shut off the power. And he's like,
this didn't make any sense to me. They just showed up to like a guy in a fucking well. Or not a well, in a fucking
they made that
sewer.
guy come out. He wasn't just there.
No, I know, but like what my point is, wouldn't you have to go to a grid? Like, why are you just able to go to a guy that's in a sewer that's like, oh, I got a switch down here that shuts off 10 fucking blocks?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. If there's anyone that works in sewers with power grids and shit,
So it wasn't a sewer.
He was in the sewer drain, I thought it was.
Yeah, but it wasn't like where the sewage goes.
Yeah,
it
maybe
like
not
over, yeah, was that like a...
But it's like a...
What
would you call it?
It was an electricity thing. I don't know.
It's a hole in the ground.
Yeah, but sewer means sewage is running through there. Like you're saying they went to a guy in a sewer, so the listener thinks this guy was like waist deep in shit, and he's like, "You want me to shut off the power? I got like that's what it said. It sounds way crazier. This guy was clearly a power company employee, and he was over at the power box.
Well, the power box is underneath the ground, though. Is my point.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think the power would be like above the ground or something?
Yeah, they got underground
right,
shit, especially in Florida, dude.
What? Why would it be under the sea level?
So, like neither of us know enough about electricity to really like have educated response to what he's doing. He's not in the sewer standing in shit.
No, yeah, you're right.
He's working. He's working on the power.
You're right.
This guy's like, if I shut off, it's gonna shut everything off in a 10-block grid for some reason. And the FBI are like, well, you like having a job, don't you? Because we'll get you fired. I'm the FBI. Turn it the fuck off. And the guy's like, all right, I'm going to turn it off.
Yeah, he's like, I work for the government.
And he flips it off. And Hans is pumped. He goes, once the power goes off, the 7th lock automatically opens. Poor design.
Poor design.
I don't get why that, but Hans is like, so we're good?
Yeah. And
We're
he's like,
getting in.
right on cue. Like, he knew... So he knew his whole plan was not whole plan, but the majority of his plan was based upon the FBI like procedures. Like there's a book that goes over how the FBI would deal with a terrorist situation like this, and he was like, "All right, well, I'll just go off of that."
So it opens, safe opens. They go in, they get all the shit.
It's a holy moment the way they kind of made it. I liked it.
And earlier the FBI got on the radio with Hans earlier. And he's like, I want helicopters to bring me and the hostages to an airfield where we'll then board a plane.
And the FBI was like,
all right, we got you.
100%.
And then, so they shut off the power. Hans, they're in the safe, they're getting the stuff. And Hans is like, all right, I'm going to set the C4 up on the building and get all the hostages up there, up on the roof. Once the helicopter lands, the C4 will go off, killing the helicopter and everyone on the roof. And the FBI... while he's doing that, shows them like, all right, as soon as we have a clear shot, we're going to start shooting the terrorists on the roof. We'll probably kill 20 to 25% of the hostages, but that's fine. We'll just let them die. Like,
fucking crazy. A couple lines. What I thought was hilarious too during this part is he's on the walkie-talkie. Can you imagine if if Hans was just saying, in the moment that they get there, we're going to blow the C4. Oh, shit. My fucking finger was on the phone. It just, like, gives away the whole plan on the walkie-talkie. That's what I was thinking the whole time. Like, dude, can you... Like, at some point, you're going to fuck up pressing that button. Because he's constantly holding the walkie, giving different directions to different people, you know?
Bruce Willis wants Family Matters cop to find his wife and tell her that he's sorry that he wasn't behind her more and that she's the best thing that ever happened to him. She's heard me say I love you 1,000 times, but she's never heard me say I'm sorry. And Family Matters cop's like, you fucking tell her yourself, man, all right? Quit talking like this. You're going to tell her.
Yeah.
You'll tell her once
You're not that 13-year-old kid with the ray gun, all right? You're Bruce Willis.
The news... So, like, it's all over the radio, like Detective John McClane, NYPD. So they found out where Holly lived and that the kids were there, and they want to go interview the kids to get, like, an emotional...
This just shows you how fucked up the news is.
Don't you want your daddy to come home for the Christmas? And they go, and the housekeeper lady is like, no, you can't come in and talk to the kids. And the guy goes, turn the cameras off. And he goes, if you don't let me in this house, I'm going to call INS. And we'll see how much longer you're here. and she's like, come on in.
David.
Like, she's like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Why don't you come on in? Bruce Willis.
No. Are you going to roll with that? No, he goes, he's like, hey, this might be the last time they might actually be able to talk to their parents.
No.
Yeah,
no, you're absolutely... I'm not joking. Pause the podcast. Right. He threatens to call INS. He's like, I'm going to call INS. And
I thought he was like, this is the last time they're going to be able to speak to their parents.
He said that, and she's like, no. At the door, he
said that first, and she was still like, no?
At the door, when she was like, I'm not letting you in, he threatened to have her deported.
And that's what got her...
And then she's like, well, I don't want to get deported.
I could have swore he was like, all right, stop it. And then
I promise you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, promise you.
But he did say that part too, and that didn't work.
And she's like, I don't care. You're a fucking news anchor. Fuck you.
That's so funny.
Yeah. She's like, you're not tugging on my heartstrings. They're not really talking to their parents. They're getting you fucking news ratings. And then he's like, well, maybe you'll go back to fucking Mexico. How about that?
That's
and
the ultimate extended DVD edition,
yeah.
David.
Bruce Willis is up on the roof, and he finds all the C4. And he goes to, he's like, oh, the helicopters are, it's a double cross. He's like, it's a double cross. He's like calling Family Matters cop. And then Carl shows up and hits him. And he gets caught by Carl. And him and Carl's the guy who wants blood.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis killed his brother. And now they're fighting back and forth.
Well, at first, once again, the gun was on his face. Well, in the opposite way now. So the gun was on Bruce Willis's face. Bruce Willis pushes the gun out with what? His fucking shoulder. He literally bumps the fucking... I mean, just so stupid.
That's the way to do it, bro. You bump the shoulder.
It's like the Detroit cop. Have you seen that on Instagram? If you guys haven't seen it, the Detroit cop is trying to protect people with the most outrageous, ridiculous maneuvers that will for sure get you killed. But remind me of that.
The news shows Bruce Willis's kids being like, Daddy, I hope you come home safely, you and Mommy. And Hans sees it on the TV and then, like, looks at the kids on the thing and then looks at the picture of the kids and picks up the picture that Holly put face down and realizes Holly and Bruce Willis are married. And he's like, this fucking bitch. He's like, Gennaro is Bruce Willis's wife? This is crazy. We cut back to Carl and Bruce Willis. Carl's fucking him up. They're fighting. Carl's fucking him up. He kicks Bruce Willis in the face a couple times. And you're like, oh, so it's over.
When they're fighting
you don't get kicked in the face that many times and still keep fighting.
Yeah.
And then Bruce Willis gets the upper hand and starts talking shit about how he killed Carl's brother. Like, Bruce Willis is the good guy in this movie. And you're like, oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that to this poor guy? This guy lost his brother.
Yeah, they did look alike, too.
Yeah. Hans is trying to radio Bruce Willis because he's got his wife, and he's like, Bruce Willis, guess who I got? But they're still fighting. Carl shoots him in the shoulder. Bruce Willis then runs.
He runs around a corner, and then he gets up on this, like, you don't really know what the object is, but he's standing up on, like, an object that's right around a corner. And obviously the brother follows him. And right as he's at that corner, he doesn't see Bruce Willis because Bruce's foot is, like, at his face level and just kicks the fuck out of the brother. Brother fucking goes on the ground. Bruce Willis gets on top, just starts beating the shit out of him.
Do you know what he says?
The part about the brother, I thought, right?
No.
Isn't this the part where he says about the brother?
No, he said that earlier when he got the upper hand. Now he's fucking him up, and he goes, I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to fucking cook you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fucking eat you.
I knew he said
while
cook.
He's fucking him up.
I knew he said cook. I'm like, did he just say cook?
And then he hangs him with a chain around his neck.
Yeah.
And hangs him up. So, like, it's 8 bodies.
Yeah.
It's 8 bodies. And then he's like, he hears on the radio that Hans, he's like, I got your wife. Like, he heard all of that. So now he's running to go find Hans, kicks open a door. One of Hans's guys there, he just shoots him real quick.
Yeah.
Guy's dead. 9 bodies.
9.
We're supposed to kill 9 people so far. He's looking around for Holly. Everyone's up on the roof. He's like, where's Holly? Where's Holly? He's got a gun. And everyone's like, oh, she's downstairs. They took her. And the helicopter comes up and sees him with a gun. And they're like, fucking shoot at that guy. That guy can't be up there with a gun. So they start shooting.
They miss. Well, Bruce Willis shoots in the air to try and get them all from the roof.
So he's trying to scare everybody off.
Yeah, he's trying to scare everyone off. So they think he's, like, one of the terrorists. So they start shooting at him. And he, like, jumps off. Well, not, like...
The helicopter platform?
Yeah, the helicopter. Yeah. And I thought when he was jumping, I'm like, oh, my God. Is he about to fucking slide down the fucking building?
He's just going to go going for it?
But the way they cut to is, like, he literally ran right into, like, a pole or, like, some type of bar that's, like, on the edge of the building. I'm like, oh my God, dude, that wasn't there. This man's going over.
What he then does isn't that much different than you saying him sliding down the building, though.
No, you're right.
He wraps a hose around his waist.
Oh, but right before this, though, they circle back around, and the special agent Johnson, he's like, hold on, I got this little guy. And I just thought, man, Bruce Willis probably didn't know that dude said that until they were, like, in the theater watching it, like, watching the premiere, and probably just got so pissed. Like, I'm not fucking little. I'm beating everyone's fucking ass in this movie. I'm not some little guy. Like, probably took offense.
So he jumps down. He's rappelling with the hose and smashes through a window and gets in just as the C4 on the roof goes off.
Yeah.
And the helicopter blows up. Now he's back in the building. He's fine.
And really quick, I didn't think about this until now, but Bruce Willis killed, one of the guys that you were saying that had everyone up on the roof. Like, killed him really quick. They were just going to leave that dude there to die by the C4. Like, did that dude know that? Do you think that dude knew that they were just going to blow up the whole...
I mean, you gotta have a sacrifice.
But that dude was going to die regardless. So, like, we'll just make it quick from Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Argyle is then looking, and he sees that they're pulling up like an ambulance over. Like, they're switching cars, and the black guy who got into the safe is dressed like a paramedic, and he's backing up to the door in the ambulance. Argyle, quick on his feet,
takes initiative,
crashes the limo into it, and then gets out and hits the black guy in the face.
So, little fun fact, there apparently was no ambulance in the truck when the terrorists first arrived. But when Theo drives an ambulance out of the truck near the end of the movie, it was an error because they never really actually had an ambulance in there. Apparently, I guess it was just like a filmmaking flaw. They never showed that there was a.
They never showed us the ambulance.
Yeah, so they're saying
makes sense.
Maybe there was something like a cover on the truck initially, but there was nothing that actually showed that there was an ambulance.
Yeah, makes sense. Bruce Willis finds Hans and one of Hans's guys and his wife Holly. Hans gets him to put the machine gun down and puts his hands up. And Hans he's calling him cowboy.
Yeah, I love that part.
He's like, what is it you said? Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker?
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis starts laughing. He starts going, he has his hands up. He goes, and then Hans starts laughing with him. And the other guy starts laughing. And all three of them are just cracking up. And then Bruce reaches up. He has a gun taped behind his back. And he pulls it out. He shoots Hans. He shoots the other guy. Hans is holding on to Holly. And he falls through the window. And he's holding on to Holly. And Hans is hanging from the building, wrapped around Holly's wrist. And Bruce Willis comes up. He's holding on to his wife. And eventually she, slips off her watch. And Hans falls holding the watch. And just looking up, he's like, ah! And he falls down. That's 11.
That's 11. So a couple things. One, I wish. I mean, you could make a skit out of this or something. He goes to pull the gun, it's just stuck. Like that tape was just super sticky. It just dies there. And
great,
great
way to end.
Why the fuck are they trying to undo the watch? Just peel his thumb. It's probably less work to peel the thumb and then oh god, I gotta get the watch clip. It made no sense to me. I'm like, this dude has got apparently the best grip ever, an unsealable grip from holding on to this watch.
There we go.
Yeah, it just seemed wild, the fact that he could hold on so well, and the fact that they were going for the watch instead of his hand. But he died.
He died. They just had to bring the watch back into it.
It was a great death, though. I mean, they really honed in him falling.
Yeah.
Because that's what you want to see. You really want to soak up the bad guy dying.
So Bruce Willis and Holly, they come out of the building. Bruce Willis finally meets Family Matters cop. They hug it out. The LAPD dude that was in charge, he wants a full debrief from Bruce Willis.
And he goes, really hope that wasn't not a terrorist, the opposite, a hostage. The guy that
fell.
Hans,
I really hope that wasn't a hostage.
Yeah.
And then Carl's fucking alive still. He comes up, he's like, and he's pointing a gun, he's going to kill Bruce Willis, and Family Matters cop just caps him.
So I didn't understand that
So
part.
Bruce Willis only killed, I don't.
Did they think he was dead and they put him in a body bag and he came out the body bag, or were they that negligent with a terrorist that was still alive?
He just popped up.
With his gun. With his gun from earlier, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because, when a terrorist dies and you're bringing him out the building, you got to keep his gun with him the entire time.
Family Matters cop caps him, kills him.
Now, his trauma story comes full circle. Because there is some silver lining lesson that the writer was like, "Oh, this is going to be gold."
Yeah. Now he killed a terrorist. He did kill the bad guy this time. Everything's better now.
You can't kill the worst of people unless you kill one of the best of people.
You can't kill the bad guys unless you kill the innocent first.
Yeah, right?
Argyle comes flying up in the limo, and he's like, "You guys want to ride home?"
Like another circle.
The news
complete.
The news guy who interviewed the kids comes up and wants a statement from Holly, and she punches him in the face.
On,
and then he looks
on
at
television.
He looks at his camera guy and goes, "Did you get that?" He's like, "It's good. It's good." They then get in the limo. Argyle they drive off in the back of the limo with Argyle driving. The end.
Yeah, with some Christmas carols, too. Because it's a Christmas film.
Not a Christmas movie.
Not to you? Or just not in general?
Not in general.
You don't think?
No, it's not a Christmas movie. They released it in July. But also, here's what we needed. For it to be a Christmas movie, if they just went home, if we had a scene where they went home and were like at the Christmas tree with their kids and shit, I can get on board.
Yeah.
Because there were a few Christmas references, and then they go and have a Merry Christmas with their family. That would have made it a Christmas movie.
I feel you.
Instead, they just ride off in a limo in fucking downtown L.A. Like, it's not.
But they had Christmas carols at the end.
It's a fucking action movie that they released in the summer.
So this is the top-rated review on IMDb for this film. He gave it an 8 out of 10, the person, and wrote 100% a Christmas movie. Who doesn't need an action film to watch during Christmas? This movie has it all. Action sequences, gritty dialogue, blood, machine guns, and a Christmas Eve party. This is definitely not a family movie, but for those of us that watch this movie every year, it is a Christmas must. So I'm guessing you disagree with that review?
I mean, it's just not a Christmas movie. Like, that guy watches it every year for Christmas, and people do that. But, like, I can watch Billy Madison every year on Christmas, and that doesn't make it a fucking Christmas movie. This is an action movie where they made a couple references to the Christmas season.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, all I needed was a scene where, like, they go home and, like, they're opening presents with their kids, or the kids are putting out cookies and milk. Like, anything like that at the end there, I'm on board. It's a Christmas movie.
I 100% agree with you. I think if they were to substitute the plane scene with, like, a scene of, like, Bruce Willis being like, "All right, guys, I got a bunch of gifts. I'm going to bring it to you soon. I'll see you guys soon. I'm leaving," and then, like, the kids are in the background, and it's all, like, festive in the house, and, like, they're excited for the presents and the Christmas, and there's Christmas shit going on. And then at the end, they get home, the kids are finally there, and you could kind of bring that full circle with the presents and the teddy bear and shit like that.
Yeah.
Then it makes more sense.
They didn't show nearly enough Christmas shit for this 100%. To be a Christmas movie.
The guy was covered in Christmas stuff when he got killed.
Yeah, but, like,
that's the furthest they went.
Yeah, like, that's not. Yeah, no, not a Christmas movie. Not a Christmas movie. I don't care if you watch it every year on Christmas. It's not a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's not really a Christmas movie. I want it to be a Christmas movie. Like, I almost want it to be a Christmas movie, but it's not.
But, Braden, you know what movie definitely isn't a Christmas movie?
The Nutty Professor?
Yeah, it's not even a little bit a Christmas movie. Not even a little bit. It's Eddie Murphy just being a nutty professor.
Dude, he's fucking
just
the
nutting
nuttiest.
around being a professor.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with Christmas. You know what else, though?
Huh.
New Year's Eve. With Zac Efron and Michelle Pfeiffer and Robert De Niro and Sarah Jessica Parker. That's a New Year's movie.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to be covering next week, guys. We're doing the 2011 rom-com New Year's Eve, starring the actors I just said.
Nice.
And if you want to watch it to get in the New Year's spirit, you can. It's available on HBO Max with a subscription.
Nice.
YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV, Vudu, or Amazon Prime for $2.99. Guys, highly suggest you watch it. Braden and I have never seen it. We were like, oh, it's New Year's. Let's do a movie. And we found a movie called New Year's Eve. What could be better to do for New Year's Eve
and I'm not
than
trying
New Year's Eve?
I'm not trying to, like, overhype up HBO Max, but right now they have the new movie, the newest Matrix movie that just came out on HBO Max. So if you were thinking, should I do the HBO Max? it kind of makes an incentive because you can go watch that movie, which would be like $15 to go watch it, at the movie theater. So it kind of like pays for it. You can get a month of HBO Max, get to watch that movie, plus the new Matrix and anything else HBO's got. Not that this is an ad for HBO, just thought, hey, could be a win-win for our listeners out there if they did not know.
Sounds like an ad for HBO.
If HBO's got some money.
I did that same thing when we covered Too Fast, Too Furious on here. I saw that it was on HBO Max, and I was like, well, fuck. Gotta watch Too Fast, Too Furious. I want to get HBO Max. Here's a perfect reason to get HBO Max. So there we go.
Yeah.
Forget about it, cuh.
Yeah, forget about it, cuh.
But guys, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Please, if you aren't subscribed already, please subscribe. Please download the episodes. Takes you a second. It means the world to us.
The world.
Go watch. We'll get back to video at some point.
Yeah.
We did. So shooting Home Alone, we did on Braden's Canon camera.
Yeah, it's a DSLR, and it just does not.
It said every 10 to 12 minutes, but then it was doing it at different times. It just stops recording.
Yeah.
And we'd have to stop and go redo it.
And then on top of that, it was just I only have one SD card, I only have one battery, and both those just get taken up by video so much faster.
Don't, now it just sounds sad.
Not
We're
pity
just gonna talk
party.
about
I know.
yeah.
Feel bad for me,
I
guys.
only have this one thing because I didn't buy the more things.
Just wasn't ready. All right.
Yeah. Well, we're looking into equipment. We're gonna figure it out. We'll be doing video in the future.
Due time.
Yeah. Guys, follow us on Instagram. It's 56Kings. That's FIVESIXKING.
S.
On Instagram, or send us an email for what movies you'd like to hear us do. Not going to see us do them yet. You want to hear us do?
Yeah.
Email us at our Gmail. That's 56kings@gmail.com. FIVESIXKING @gmail.com. Guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. I love you all.
I love you guys
very much. Merry Christmas.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Merry Christmas.
And we'll see you before the new year.
Peace out.
Beach County, that's where I'm from. When niggas get gunned down and left slump, we don't just for fucking round. This ain't the county.